This is head football coach Chris Yeager. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for your support of our football team and the athletic department. We couldn't do what we do without you, so thank you for your support, and go Spartans.
Baptist Health is on your team. Where every play, every cheer, every moment matters. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Our commitment to your care and the health of our community is at the heart of everything we do. Baptist Health. On your team, on and off the field.
Mountain Brook, we're not just your home team. We're your team for the best value guarantee. Save with a 3-year price lock. And get a free phone on any plan. Need even more ways to save? Get free satellite text messaging for all. Save 40% on top streaming services. Plus, save $15 a month when you bundle mobile and home. Score these great deals at Cellular Sales, your local Verizon authorized retailer.
Hey, I'm David Faulkner. As a graduate of Mountain Brook and as a parent of 3 students who graduated from Mountain Brook, I am proud to support Mountain Brook High School athletics. I hope you'll join me in doing the same, and I look forward to seeing you at a game. Go Spartans!
There's only one place Alabama trusts for every ride time after time. Royal Automotive at the corner of I-65 and Highway 31 in Vestavia. 4 dealerships, unmatched selection, countless smiles. For over 50 years, your friends and neighbors have chosen Royal for every ride for generations. Royal Buick GMC, Royal Volkswagen, Volvo Cars of Vestavia Hills, and Royal Pre-Owned Automart, where I-65 meets Highway 31. RoyalAutomotive.net. For every ride, there's Royal.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt the communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
Hello and welcome back into Spartan Stadium. My name is William Galloway and it is week 3. This is the Coach Yeager Playbook Show presented by Reeves Construction. We're here with Coach Yeager. Coach, good to be with you.
Good to be here, William.
And we're excited about tonight's matchup. We welcome the Hueytown Golden Gophers into town, a non-region game, but it's after Labor Day and you have a nice sample of 2 games of body of work. So what do you make of the team so far? And last week's loss, 27-11 at Parker, there had to be a lot of lessons learned. So how do you feel about your squad in last week's game as well?
No doubt. I've seen improvement every week. You know, last week we played a very good football team, big, strong, fast, and when you play a team like that and you make mistakes, you know, they're magnified. And that's the reason we want to play a team like that before we get into region play. You know, the one thing that we saw too was that we didn't make any mistakes that can't be fixed. You know, when you play a team like that and you make a mistake and they are big, strong, and fast, it just seems like, man, that they're just controlling us or whatever, you know, or that's just, something that maybe you can't overcome because they're so good. And then when you go back and you look at the tape, it's never as bad as it seems, it's never as good as it seems, but it was not as bad as it seemed. We made some good plays. We just had some plays where 10 guys would execute, 1 wouldn't. It's things that we can fix, you know. But we also know this, you know, if we don't fix them, you know, we could have issues too. You know, we've got to fix those things to go where we need to go.
I think the ball bounced our way a couple of times and also didn't bounce our way a couple of times. I know Parker had a couple of drop passes that could have resulted in touchdowns. We had guys like Hayes Wendell, Lawson McKnight come up with a big turnover, and then we also had plays where we had to take some risk. It's a non-region game. You're on the road, whether you're in the red zone or 4th down situations based on yardage. And so all in all, some things went our way, some things didn't. But what was your message to the guys? I asked you after the game, but it's not a life and death situation, right? Especially in week 2 of the season. So how have you seen your guys respond this week in practice and prepare for another challenge ahead?
Well, during the game, I heard the assistant coach, I heard Coach Stern say this, I heard Coach Easley say this. During the course of the game, they said, you know, don't think about the outcome, just keep going back to your training. And the training is, you know, that's just the result of the process of you know, the sport that you're trying to compete in. And so that was the message during the game. That was really the message after. We said, look, we're going to go back to fundamentals. We're going to go back to perfecting skills, trying to reach mastery level. And so, you know, that's been our message all week long, that there was nothing in that game that couldn't have been overcome. But our training's what overcomes those situations.
And a lot of guys did reach close to mastery level. One of those guys was Trey Vincent. I think he had 2 or 3 receptions, 46 yards, and came up big offensively. Caden found him when we needed a chunk play or a big pickup. And talk about Trey, because he's a guy who was injured a majority of last season and has really come into his own this year as a senior. He's a multi-sport athlete and just a great kid as well. So tell us what he brings not only to the locker room but to the playing field and to the team culture as well.
Well, Trey stepped on the scene. I don't know, there's a lot of people that will remember this. As a sophomore, we're in the playoffs, we had a lot of injuries. We were going to play Clay Chalkville, who is the #1 ranked team in the state. And Trey's just a sophomore. And so we go into that game, and so Trey, for the first time, has got to step in. He's got to be a starter. And as a sophomore, he just takes the game over, you know. And so we're expecting big things out of him his junior year, and he has some injuries. And in that time, you know, like everybody remembers the plays that he made as a sophomore, but the things that we as coaches saw as a junior, he served his teammates by coaching coaching the guys that were playing. And, you know, in our program, we talk about the importance of humility. And humility is, you know, that it's about others. And Trey, he's a person of faith, he's an inspiration, and he is 100% about other people.
That's really inspiring. And I know we've got a lot of guys like Trey, and we're going to try and highlight people all throughout the year on both sides of the ball. And, you know, we're not trying to individualize anybody over one another, but we want to feature different guys throughout the year. And another guy I want to ask you about on the other side of the ball is Billy Farrow. He's somebody we spoke to in Media Day this summer and really has kind of taken on a leadership role on the defensive side of the ball and has great experience. But you moved him around in the offseason, right, going from kind of that rover linebacker now to defensive line. So he's got a lot of versatility, and he has obviously a lot of leadership if you wanted to put him in front of me in the media this summer. So tell us a little bit about Billy Farrow and what he brings to your squad.
Well, a few weeks ago, the 7th and 8th grade, they were playing at the stadium, and Derek Kennedy was in the office spending some time with us. And so some of the players came in and they were sort of rehashing old stories. And so Mr. Kennedy started telling us a story about when Billy was on the basketball team at the junior high. And he said he used to say that he was the Swiss Army knife, that he could do a lot of different things. And so for us, he's definitely the Swiss Army knife. But I tell you, from a personal standpoint, just watching him, the thing that I love about Billy, he's so personable. There's probably 20 guys on our team that thinks that Billy's their best friend. Billy's everybody's best friend. I can't find anybody that would say anything bad about Billy. He's such an incredible person. Every coach, Mr. Kennedy, every coach that he's ever had thinks that, I'm Billy's favorite coach of all time, and so he's just such a.
Hold on, let's pause right there. Do you think that you're his favorite coach, or how do you feel about that?
Well, I know that I'm his favorite coach, but Billy is, he's such a relational young man, and he's one of those glue guys for your team. What you got to have.
And obviously, he gets it done on the defensive side of the ball, flying all over the field, plugging all the gaps, being where he needs to be. So he shows that on Friday nights as well. And it's good to hear about his character and what he brings to the locker room as well. I want to ask you about tonight's game, right? Hueytown comes in 6A Region 4, a game last year that went down to the wire and required Anderson Roberts to go from 41 yards out and send us out victorious. But this is a great challenge tonight, and we want to welcome all the Hueytown fans who are excited about tonight's contest. Great to be back home. This is the only home game in the month of September. So tell us a little bit about this matchup and what you're trying to get your guys to learn, to know, to grow, and what you want to accomplish tonight on the field.
Well, Greg Patterson is the head football coach and a great friend of mine, one of the most respected coaches in the state of Alabama. We've known each other for a long time. And, when you play one of his teams, number one, they're going to be disciplined. They're going to play really, really hard. And, like last year, it went down to the wire. But, to me, he's got, to me, one of the best defenses that I've seen this year. That defense is every bit as good as the one that we faced last week. And so, it's going to be a great challenge for us. They have got some new faces in the lineup on offense, and they're growing just like we've got some new faces in the lineup. But when we watched them, the game that they played against Clay Chalfant, any mistakes that they had, they're all fixable mistakes too. And so we're our competition with them is the competition for we're both trying to grow, and can we take steps forward to correct our mistakes. But again, incredible program, and just excited about having him here and playing them this week.
And not only will it be a great game, but it's going to be at home. And we mentioned the next 3 weeks. Last week we're on the road. The next 3 weeks we're going to be on the road as well. So when we come back to Spartan Stadium in October, it's going to be a little bit probably cooler, a little bit crisper. And so we're anticipating a great night in Spartan Stadium tonight. If you're watching from the broadcast, thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. We're really excited about tonight's contest, wherever you may be taking it in. And want to ask you too, another celebration we're having in Spartan Stadium tonight is Teacher Appreciation. And so it was the brainchild of Donald Clayton, our Director of Administrative Services for Mountain Brook Schools, wanting to bring everybody together. And so I just want to ask you on this pregame show, for Teacher Appreciation, faculty and staff, everybody who receives a paycheck from Mountain Brook Schools, what do your colleagues mean? What does it mean to work in this district? And just kind of share your message to all those who you work with and who work throughout our school system, your message of appreciation, because this truly is a special place, and you've been here as head coach for 20 years and as an assistant for even longer than that.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I love about our faculty, they realize that our students are going to have many, many interests. And so when they walk into your classroom, I know as a teacher, as a coach, your classroom is the most important thing to you. The students have many things that are important to them. And the thing that I love about our faculty is they're the greatest cheerleaders for our students. If they're an athlete, they keep up when there's all kinds of clippings on the wall. They'll email, how's this player doing? Text and whatever, but anyway, they love the fact, and they keep up with our students outside of their classroom, and they see them as just the total person, and so they're givers. And our faculty, they are incredible, and so appreciative of them. And I just want to say, man, it's such a pleasure to work beside colleagues that are just such professionals and such caring for the students.
That's really special. We're really glad all of our faculty and staff are here tonight. I know they're tailgating, so welcome to Spartan Stadium. If this is your first home game, we encourage you to keep coming on out and come to all of our sporting events. We've got a great fall season of events going on, and our last question is about one of those specific faculty members as well who you have worked with for, I think, all 20 years as head coach. This is Jake Jordan is 49 years young today. He hadn't climbed over that hill yet. But happy birthday to Mountain Brook athletic trainer Jake Jordan, turns 49. He's been the athletic trainer at Mountain Brook for 20 years and been alongside you. What does Coach Jordan mean to you? Because he pours into not only every football player, but all the student athletes and knows every name on campus.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Jordan, in the training room, they go to the training room, and a lot of times when you're involved with the trainer, it's probably the worst day of your athletic career. You're facing an injury or whatever. And he and Adam Martin do such a great job with our young men, our young ladies, as far as getting them through a very difficult time. And I've always said that there's none better than our medical staff to put them back together physically. But they also minister to our young people in their heart too. They go through some tough times, whether it's the loss of a family member, a pet, whatever it is, just a bad day. And it seems like they gravitate to the folks in our training room. And Jake, the thing about Jake is he is a caring person. To think about somebody when they go into a career or they go into a profession, they want to go into a profession where they're dealing with students and with athletes that are going through a very difficult time. And when you want to give your whole profession, your whole career to that, it says a lot about that person. But I'll just say this about Jake. I've learned a lot from him. Just about, just dealing with people and young people and understanding young people. He's a master at that. The total person. And so they're givers, and our faculty, they are incredible and so appreciative of them. And I just want to say, man, it's such a pleasure to work beside colleagues that are just such professionals and such caring for the students.
That's really special. We're really glad all of our faculty and staff are here tonight. I know they're tailgating, so welcome to Spartan Stadium. If this is your first home game, we encourage you to keep coming on out and come to all of our sporting events. We've got a great fall season of events going on. And our last question is about one of those specific faculty members as well who you have worked with for, I think, all 20 years as head coach. This is Jake Jordan is 49 years young today. He hadn't climbed over that hill yet. But happy birthday to Mountain Brook athletic trainer Jake Jordan, turns 49. He's been the athletic trainer at Mountain Brook for 20 years and been alongside you. What does Coach Jordan mean to you? Because he pours into not only every football player, but all the student athletes and knows every name on campus.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Jordan, in the training room, they go to the training room, and a lot of times when you're involved with the trainer, it's probably the worst day of your athletic career. You're facing an injury or whatever. And he and Adam Martin do such a great job with our young men, our young ladies, as far as getting them through a very difficult time. And I've always said that there's none better than our medical staff to put them back together physically. But they also minister to our young people in their heart too. They go through some tough times, whether it's the loss of a family member, a pet, whatever it is, just a bad day. And it seems like they gravitate to the folks in our training room. And Jake, the thing about Jake is he is a caring person. To think about somebody when they go into a career or they go into a profession, they want to go into a profession where they're dealing with students and with athletes that are going through a very difficult time. And when you want to give your whole profession, your whole career to that, it says a lot about that person. But I'll just say this about Jake. I've learned a lot from him. Just about, just dealing with people and young people and understanding young people. He's a master at that. He's been a great mentor for me, and I'm very appreciative of him.
And one fun fact about Jake is he loves private aviation. So next time you see Jake, you're going to have to ask him about his recent private aviation story. But we will leave that one for off the air. Coach, this has been a pleasure. Let's leave it as we always do with you on the last word, and then we'll wrap up warm-ups. If you're here in Spartan Stadium, you will see some more warm-ups, and we've got our most valuable teacher, Dr. Glenn Lamar. I want to give him a shout-out, and it's going to be a wonderful night in Spartan Stadium. Again, if you're on the broadcast, thank you for joining us. Kickoff is coming up shortly, but Coach, close us out, and let's get ready for some football.
Well, Gary Rickard used to say it's a great day to be a Spartan. You know, and when we travel from community to community, we've been last week, Parker, they were great hosts, but you know, you get to see the different places and communities and cultures. And one of the great things that you realize as you travel about is just how awesome it is to be in Mountain Brook and to be a Mountain Brook Spartan, and how blessed we are. Last week we had so many people that were there again to watch our young men and our young ladies in the band and cheerleaders and whatnot. But anyway, it's an incredible place, and every day I'm so thankful to be a Mountain Brook Spartan.
The sun sets over the September sky in Spartan Stadium, and Mountain Brook is back at home for Game 3. It's the Spartans hosting the Hueytown Golden Gophers. I'm William Galloway alongside Wayne Ingram for Friday Night Lights. This is Mountain Brook football. Wayne, it's great to be with you and great to be back home in Spartan Stadium this evening.
Yeah, you know, as the Wizard of Oz says, there's no place like home, and here we are back in the friendly confines of Spartan Stadium. It's time for what most would call a get-right game. We're trying to bounce back from the loss last week at Parker, and Hueytown presents a formidable opponent to just do that here tonight.
Mountain Brook taking on the Golden Gophers. The Spartans own a 6-3 all-time record. Last year, the Spartans got the best of the Golden Gophers thanks to a last-minute field goal from Anderson Roberts. You heard about that in our pregame show. You even saw that as well. Great clip there. But Mountain Brook, it's a new season and a new opportunity and a non-region game, but all the while, it's a non-region game. You got a lot to build on from last week's loss, and you bring in a little bit banged up, but you're ready to go and ready to play football. And that's really, at the end of the day, it's football time in Spartan Stadium.
Absolutely. We call it a get-right game for the Spartan team as a whole. You know, and you recall last year with Anderson Roberts, that was kind of a get-right field goal for the game winner in a game where the Spartan defense did so well for 3 quarters, kind of had their characteristic struggle in the 4th quarter and let Hueytown back into it. So this is a team that's not going to quit. They're not going to give up. They've seen the fruits of their labor pay off in a near victory last year at home. They're coming in with a lot of confidence. They're coming in thinking they have a shot tonight, and it's up to the Spartan offense and defense to answer the call.
You see the run-through sign. The boys are back, and we're going to introduce you to tonight's captains, brought to you by Representative David Faulkner before we get things set for the run-through. So here are tonight's captains for the game against Hueytown.
Billy Farrow, senior, defensive line.
Trey Vinson, senior, wide receiver.
Wayne, cue up the Thin Lizzy because the boys are back in town. That's what the run-through sign reads this evening. This is the Reeves Construction pregame show. Great to be with you up here in the booth. And you talk about getting right. We got our kinks worked out. We're coming to everybody in their living room, their back porch, all throughout Mountain Brook, all throughout Alabama and the Southeast, and we're ready to go as well tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Broadcast team been grinding all week, trying to get everything right. You know, it's so difficult starting the year over with new Wi-Fi connections and points of contact and things like that. And we are ramped and ready to bring you the Mountain Brook Spartans here for the following 8 games of the regular season and the whole, hopefully long, you know what, we'll just call it a long playoff run.
Absolutely. You see Billy Farrow and Trey Vincent over there, too, guys. We heard from Coach Yeager talk about the impact that they have on and off the field on this program, and you just saw our introductory. And check out this great new score bug. Wayne, our production crew this evening and all year long, Jonathan Barbie, Jason Anderson, Wesley Stewart, Brooklyn Anderson, and Brady Moscato bringing you the sights and sounds, and that's a new score bug. That's beautiful. We've got our time, we've got our down and distance, and couldn't ask more from our fantastic crew.
ESPN would make you wait until the college football playoff to debut the new score bug. We're ready to go with it right now here, week 3 in Spartan Stadium. Ready to bring you the highest quality broadcasts into your living rooms, into your lake house, into your mountain house, because we know the Mountain Brook Spartan faithful love to travel, not always to the opposing sites.
Absolutely. We're going to get ready for this coin toss brought to you by Representative David Faulkner, a good man of great value to this community. We appreciate his support. And after the run-through, we'll introduce you to tonight's starters before we get things going. Mountain Brook, of course, in their home green and gold.
Yeah, getting better at reading our referees. We've got a Spartan tap, so that means we won the coin toss. Elected to defer our option to the second half. Hopefully for Hueytown's sake, they elected to receive. Because if you don't do that, as Tribble Reese will tell you, you can lose the ball both halves.
Well said.
Mountain Brook has won the toss. Elected to defer.
All right, they're queuing up the hype video on the Jumbotron. The students have filed in. The band, the cheerleaders, the color guard, and the Dorians are lined up, ready for the run-through. The flags are waving, and it feels like football tonight on the campus of Mountain Brook High School. This is the only September home game we will have. We're about to hit the road for a 3-week stretch, but tonight we get ready, and the Spartans are about to take the field. The flag men are a little early. They're just excited to be here.
Yeah, you know, we're trying to tighten up the details here. I will say the flag guys have appropriately hoisted the flag that corresponds to the letter painted on their body. Listen, the M/the S was a little bit early. We're going to call that a false start. It'd be 5 yards on the body-painted non-football playing flagmen.
Let's introduce you to tonight's starting lineup. Let's take a look at our starters video, and when we come back, it'll be football time at Mountain Brook High School.
And now, your starting lineup for the Mountain Brook Spartans, coached by Chris Yeager. Here are your starters on defense.
Billy Farrow, senior, defensive line.
Boyd Cooper, senior, D-line. Will Ellis, junior, defensive line.
Miller Lee, senior, outside linebacker.
Skip Stewerman, junior, linebacker.
Luke Waldrop, junior, linebacker. Miller Crumpton, junior, linebacker.
Foster Roberts, senior, defensive back.
LG Williams, senior, defensive back.
Mac Mandel, senior, defensive back.
Austin McKnight, senior, free safety.
Here are the starters on offense.
William Tabb, senior, O-line.
Rocco Gray, senior, offensive line.
Rob Shane Vogel, senior, offensive line.
Henry Jimenez, senior, offensive line. Archie Andrews, junior.
This has been the Reeves Construction pregame show, and now the Vulcan Tire and Auto Kickoff is underway. It's a touchback from William Russ, and you can check that one off your bingo card, Wayne. The Spartans kickoff man, William Russ, has had a great season all along, and he sends that one right to the field house.
And William, given 2 more weeks, that's going to be the free space. I mean, we've seen William display some serious leg talent, some elite velocity there with the right hoof of one William Russ.
And if my eyes didn't deceive me, I believe Gabe Smith had a club on. He is back and healthy and good to go, and great to see him on special teams tonight, senior number 14.
Clubbed up indeed. Lost a little bit contained there on the outside. I believe that was number 22, L.G. Williams, the captain tonight, trying to set the edge. And if you're wondering why he failed, it was because of a holding call. So we're going to back it up 10 yards. Just about a drive killer there, but it'll be 1st and 20 from the Hueytown 10.
Great start for the Spartan defense. We're just coming out ready to play tonight.
You're wondering when you're setting the edge right there, the only thing you can really do wrong is to engage with your outside arm. And that time for LG, it was his left arm there. He didn't have it engaged, but he was being held. Referees see it, make the right call, and we're bringing up 1st and a long ways.
A long way here to go. The Golden Gophers are moving left to right, wearing their road white uniforms. They've got purple trim along the sides and another flag. These Hankies are making an early appearance tonight.
I'll tell you what, a rare drawn offsides penalty there by a usually well-disciplined Mountain Brook defensive front. Usually we're the ones getting the free 5, but especially early in the game and getting a 10-yard penalty there, Hueytown wanting to take a little bit back.
Just moving us all sorts of around. It'll be a 1st and 15 for the Golden Gophers and a give on a replayed first down and brought down by Mountain Brook's.
Yeah, Skip Stewerman there.
Good
job by Billy
Miller
Farrow. He's the fold player there, able to set the edge and give time for Skip, the other outside linebacker, to come in and make the tackle.
Golden Gophers want to move quickly tonight. It's a 2nd and 9 from the 21. Spartan defense is ready for it. Back to pass. A little screen pass, dish to the top of your screen, and what a wrap-up tackle from Hosford Roberts, preventing what could have been trouble.
Yeah, that was one of those, a well-dialed-up play for Hueytown against the Spartan blitz. We were bringing from the field side there, which is the open side of the field. We got more yards that side. We were bringing heat. They were able to flip it out to the boundary.
The quarterback is number 1, Jaden Powell. He's a senior for the Golden Gophers, and this give goes nowhere thanks to the Spartan defense on first down.
And, William, that's one of those, they watched the film from last week against Parker, and they said, hey, it seemed to work when Parker went fast. They tried to go fast right there, but they're stuffed at the line. Now they have 2nd and 10. They're at a disadvantage for the drive. Kind of a backfire there because the Spartan defense was able to adjust.
Wayne, Mountain Brook got banged up on both sides of the ball last week at Parker, but a lot of guys have bounced back. They're healthy. If not all the way healthy, they're good to go, and they're strong enough to play. Will Ellis comes up with a big stop right there on 2nd down, but great to see the tenacity of these guys ready to strap it up and play no matter what.
Yeah, great job by Will there. I think we thought we got the ball at the bottom of the pile, and perhaps we did, but without instant replay being as infectious as it is in college and NFL football, we're just going to play the next one here at 3rd and long.
So 10:22 left to go in this first quarter. It's a 3rd and 8.
And, William, look at this front. There's no linebackers showing right now, so it's very tough for the Hueytown offensive line to sift it out.
Miller Lee showing pressure towards the bottom of that line formation, and we've got another flag on the play.
Yeah, so I mean, exactly what I said. Hueytown said, hey, we can't figure out who's coming, so we're going to shift. And when they shifted, their offensive line wasn't disciplined enough to stay still. They invoked the 5-yard penalty. They could have seen exactly who was going to drop right there and given their linemen a chance to pick it up. But instead, they are penalized with a 5-yard loss.
Quarterback Jaden Powell stands in shotgun formation on a 3rd and long. He's going to roll near side, looking, and good evening to you. The ball is out. Billy Farrow wraps up on the tackle.
Yeah, we're going to have to hold the quesadilla there, William. They were able to recover it, but I'll tell you what, an excellent job of the Spartan defensive line stringing it out and allowing our linebackers to approach here. You're going to see Boyd Cooper. He's got the contained. Nothing can get outside him. He forces it back inside and allows the tackle to be made by Billy Farrow. That is just textbook defense right there by the Mountain Brook Spartans.
Great job by Mountain Brook, flying all over the ball, being where they need to be, and now a 4th and long will force Hueytown to punt with 9:18 left to go in this first quarter. From their own 33, fair catch called and waved at the 25 where Mountain Brook will take over. That was taken by Robinson Peer, the sophomore wide receiver, handling the fair catch duty.
Well, all in all, an excellent first drive for the Mountain Brook Spartan defense right there. we are able to feast it back to our offense with, marginally plus field position. Usually start at the 20. We're going to start them at the 26. And you see Rocco Gray bouncing up and down, ready to go. This offensive line is hungry to get back to the rushing prowess from week 1.
Henry Slaughter in at right guard for the Spartans this evening, in place of Pearson Avery, who we hope will be back very soon for a quick recovery. And it's Stuart Andrews on the first play of the Spartan offense from scrimmage. He'll pick up 3 or 4 and give Mountain Brook a second and manageable.
Yeah, going with the traditional wide zone there, not quite the stretch. We were able to get a hat on a hat. And Stewart just does such a good job right here of reading the blocks. He's able to press it inside, force the linebacker number 23 to blitz upfield, try and make that tackle in the backfield, and then bounce it last second to get the extra yardage on the outside.
It's a 2nd and 6 from the 30 with 9:04 left to play in this first quarter. Hoffbauer stands in the gun, and he's going to give it to Stewart. And Stewart will fight his way forward for a few more. It's going to be a 3rd and short.
Getting back to our roots here. We are a team. We like to control the game. We like to run the ball. Nobody better in the Southeast of getting offensive linemen to get a hat on a hat than Chris Yeager. And now we're in this 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable with a mobile quarterback and a few different options on offense.
And Wayne, obviously the longer we can keep our defense on the sideline, the better. But Mountain Brook just slow rolling to get this thing started, and apparently in no rush, which is great. 8 on the play clock.
Yeah, there we go. We'll take our free 5 there. We said, Hueytown, we can give you 5, but we're going to take it right back the second we get the ball. And, Willie G, these are the best first downs because we didn't have to snap it. We didn't have to catch the snap. We didn't have to make a handoff. We didn't have to rush for the first down. We just get it for free. Put it on the Underhill tab, as you would say.
Absolutely. The esteemed Country Club Bill Day Underhill will give Mountain Brook a 1st and 10 from the Golden Gopher 40. 8:07 left in this first quarter. Here's Stuart Wright trying to work around Henry Jimenez, and he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage.
A really good tackle there. Not letting it get to an open field situation by number 14 for the Gophers, the cornerback. Maybe a safety playing down in the slot right there. Ultimately, if you design a good run scheme, you've got your back one-on-one with the defensive back. That's what we're able to do there.
When
that time they were able to play aggressive and come up and make the stop.
You got to love the patience from this Spartan offense now with 2nd and 10, but the discipline, the patience, and that'll hopefully pay off in the long run throughout this evening. But just on this first drive, we're liking what we're seeing. And here's a give to Vincent around into the top of your screen. He'll pick up 8, fight his way towards midfield, and that'll be great pickup for Mountain Brook.
A nice little wrinkle there, something we haven't seen in years past with the Mountain Brook Spartans because we didn't always love under center. But the handoff behind the line to Vincent after we've had some downhill runs, just a little wrinkle right there to try and get the nearly explosive run for the Spartans.
So it'll be a 3rd and 2 from our own 48-yard line. Sam Smith, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. We'll tell you a little bit about the Mountain Brook offense and numbers-wise after this play right here. Hoffbauer on the keeper coming near side. Plenty of space, plenty of green. Rolling,
be fast,
going, and into the goal of the end zone. Caden Hoffbauer strikes first for the Spartans, and Mountain Brook puts 6 up real fast on their first drive.
Well, I mentioned earlier we hit the outside zone of the field, but that was the stretch zone. We're going all the way outside. We're trusting our quarterback and his speed. I was seeing him on the sideline earlier. Caden and Stewart, not too different in size, but, Stewart a little bit shiftier, and Caden has that straight line speed where he's just able to hit that second gear and outrun the secondary. A great long touchdown drive here.
Formation penalty on the PAT, the Nichols concrete point after. Mountain Brook will be backed up, but with 7:09, Caden Hoffbauer goes 52 yards on the keeper for the score, and Mountain Brook is in business.
Yeah, the white hat there a little confused, going to ultimately call an illegal substitution. We had a little bit of confusion on who was coming on, who was coming off, and we were shifting when we were making that sub, so a good call there.
Anderson Roberts.
And a well-struck kick.
Able to split the uprights. The hold from Sam Smith and the snap from Patrick Cry. And Mountain Brook's got itself a 7-0 lead with 7:09 left to play in this first quarter. We're going to take a quick commercial break and tell you more about tonight's contest when we come back. Good guys up, 7-0. More when we come back.
Baptist Health is on your team. Where every play, every cheer, every moment matters. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Our commitment to your care and the health of our community is at the heart of everything we do. Baptist Health. On your team, on and off the field.
Only an hour and a half from Spartan Stadium, Lake Martin is more than just a lake. It's a century-old symbol of energy and recreation. At Russell Lands, we've always known its power. Sunrises and sunsets captivate us, and memories are made all summer. Russell Lands celebrates the lake with a community of lakefront neighborhoods, marinas, restaurants, golf, markets, and an adventure center. We're committed to honoring and preserving Lake Martin's beauty and spirit for generations to come. That's the power of the lake.
Wayne, when someone gives you 15 yards, you take it and you say, thank you, I'd like some more.
And William Russ could kick it. Oh, I love the play.
Mountain Brook trying to go with the onside, can't get it, but, I mean, when you get that many yards and you know William Russ could kick it to 459, you got to try something and give your special teams an opportunity to make a play and extend this lead.
Yeah, you know, William, the only issue with that, if he kicked it to 459, probably would have gone out of bounds. I thought he was aiming for Thorson Shed. But I love taking the advantage. Give a little dribble kick, see if what could happen. And we are ramped and ready to go. Gave us ourselves a chance to get the ball back and still giving them the ball on the 29-yard line. Pretty good trade-off, risk-reward for the Spartans.
So Mountain Brook up 7-0. We like what we've seen so far. It's Teacher Appreciation Night here in Spartan Stadium at the end of the first quarter. We will highlight some of our teachers who are here and in attendance. And if any of our teachers and faculty and staff members are watching back at home or on the road, we appreciate you and all you do for our school system. Here's a keeper and a great tackle from Will Ellis, being all over the place tonight. Great job from the junior.
Yeah, it's an athletic play there by Will Ellis. He kind of has to maintain the bottom of the pocket right there. He has to say, hey, I'll let the outside guys pin their ears back, but I got to make sure nothing rushes up the middle, and that's exactly what he does. Works the center, keeps his outside arm free, and is able to make the tackle on the quarterback.
Mountain Brook swarming to the ball this evening as they have all season long. Lawson McKnight crashes and a host of Spartans. Will Ellis, Boyd Cooper, Miller Crumpton, everybody doing the job. And it'll be a third and medium for the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, Miller, great job setting the edge right there. When we talk about setting the edge, ultimately a ball run on the outside has a far more likely chance to be housed than one run up the middle. So anytime someone can set the edge, even if they don't make the tackle, they are doing their job and making sure that their teammates can get the guy on the ground.
It's going to be a 3rd and 5 from the 34, 6:03 left to play in this first quarter.
Bringing heat.
Spartans bringing the pressure. A run up the middle met by McKnight, and Lawson stops him short of the first down. Great Iron City defense from Mountain Brook right there, Wayne.
And Lawson on the Iron City defense. We might see him on the Iron City offense here in a little bit, as he is being tasked with a little bit of double duty with some depth issues at the running back position. We'll talk about later. Hueytown going to take a timeout and chew it over. Very quick timeout right there. And actually, it was a quick timeout because Hueytown didn't take it. The state of Alabama did. We are going to take our water break
with them,
as
and
God intended.
We'll be right back after this. Spartans up 7-0 live from Mountain Brook High School. Welcome back into Mountain Brook High School. William Galloway alongside Wayne Ingram. This is Mountain Brook Football on NFHS Network and SpartanTV.live. We appreciate all of our viewers. Wayne, I think we had 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 people across the Southeast watching Mountain Brook football last week, and lots of eyeballs on this 4th and 1 now for the Golden Gophers in their own territory. Great job. They're going to get just enough for the pickup, and I mean just enough by a hair, but the Mountain Brook defense was almost right there.
Yeah, I tell you what, we had 1, 2, 3 defenders making contact with the running back. Excellent play right there by him, overcoming the adversity, pushing through, converting that 4th down. You can tell Hueytown does not want to give the ball back to the Spartan offense right now. They want to control this game and control the clock.
5:11 on that clock left in this first quarter. Good guys up by a touchdown. Mountain Brook defense trying to see what's going on at Church Street with Taco Mama. We're going to check in with him. We're going to have a Medical Properties Trust timeout. We just took a break, so we'll stay right here, Wayne. But kind of game summary so far. Mountain Brook doing what they need to do, taking care of the ball offensively. Hoffbauer finds the seam, goes 52 yards, and the defense is doing what they do best, and that's holding strong.
Yeah, everything according to schedule right now. Ultimately, you want to keep making them snap it. They're not giving us many opportunities to create negative plays right now, and, hey, that's okay. We're going to keep making them snap it. If they're going to go for it on 4th down and plus territory and barely get it, we can understand that. So, you know, I think for a lot of these guys, it is we've got defenders playing out of position with a few injuries on the defensive front. We've talked about that. Defensive backfield, a few guys that we hope are only out for 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, and then we can get them right back in time for the meat of our region schedule. And right now it's guys getting to learn a new position, really try and excel here in positions they might be playing next year, might be playing the year after if they're a sophomore, but ultimately this is a great opportunity to learn. I mean, you can learn only so much on the practice field. Getting live reps right here under the lights, and game 3 of the season.
You talk about learning, and that's what it's all about. You see these guys who are out still coaching them up. You saw some injured jerseys, and out of respect, we'll give them their time over there on the sideline. But coaching up these guys who are getting their reps, right? And wow.
Will Ellis, have a night. If you're Will Ellis's family or friends or neighbors, or if you've ever met Will Ellis, congrats to you. Because he is, he's just standing on his head right now. He
probably knows a lot of people because he's probably everywhere because he's been everywhere on the field tonight.
Yeah, that man can cover ground. That's what we know about him.
We've got Coach Shane Martin, a.k.a. Chief, watching tonight. Want to give him a shout-out. Our cheerleaders are doing a great job. Our students are here. And here's a 2nd and long for the Golden Gophers. Luke Waldrop and Miller Lee ready to make the stop for Mountain Brook. Yep. But great crowd tonight as well, Wayne.
Ellis and others applying the pressure. Good job by Miller and Luke Waldrop honing in on the scrambling quarterback, bringing up a 3rd and medium.
But we go back to talking about learning, and those guys, right, they could be sitting on the end of the bench pouting and trying to get themselves better, but, I mean, they are pouring into their teammates, building this team and this program up. You love to see that because we were pretty banged up last week defensively, offensively, and right now we're just trying to, as we said in the pregame show, get right. And, again, a non-region game, but a great opportunity to test yourselves and push yourself to the limits and learn a lot about yourselves as well. A 3rd and short pass to the near side, wrapped up by Lawson McKnight. It's going to be enough for a 1st down into Spartan territory, and the Golden Gophers will move the chains.
Yeah, Spartans with a good shell coverage there, not wanting to give up anything too deep right there. Hueytown running a smart route. Good job by the receiver, getting the proper depth to get the sticks right there. Yeah, I mean, constant vigilance has to be the theme right there. If you're the Spartan defense, and if you're a backup player that's thrust into the starting lineup or a starter that's out tonight, you have to be constantly aware of what's going on in the field because you're going to miss those middle reps if you don't. And,
absolutely.
You know, this is a game where if you're sitting out, you can still learn something to get better.
Yeah. So as you see, 3:38 left to go in this first quarter. Hello, Miller Lee, and hello, big tackle for the Spartans on 1st down.
Yeah, everything going a little bit more according to the coach's game plan right here on this drive for Hueytown. This is, again, a very well-coached team. I was impressed with them last year. They had a great effort at home, making it a ball game late, and right now they seem to be doing their job, hitting their assignments, and running backs are making plays.
Here's a second and short. Pass over the middle. Shake and a move. Running down the near sideline, Miller Lee makes a scoring-saving tackle, but Hueytown moves into the red zone.
Yeah, another good call there. Spartans getting good penetration. So what do? You call the screen pass. That time we were a little bit of a cover 0, maybe a cover 1 to the field and to the boundary. We didn't have the extra defender there to make the early tackle.
Ball in the 19, under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Hueytown looking to throw, incomplete. And Mountain Brook in on the coverage. They hadn't looked too far. That was probably their deepest pass of the night, but the secondary.
Yeah, William, I'm not sure. I know you got a really strong arm, but making that out route throw to the field is not for your Monday morning quarterback. So a tough throw right there. Guns it a little high, and it brings up the 2nd and 10.
My middle initial is MMQB, so, I do what I can.
And William Galloway with a traditional long Mountain Brook name.
2nd and 10, 2:46 left to play in this first quarter. Handoff and hand down Miller Lee on the tackle. I tell you, he and Will Davis are trading cards on where to be and when to be there.
Yeah, I tell you what, as someone who met Miller Lee when he was about a 5th grader, I used to look down and coach him up in the camp counseling sense, and now I look up to him. He's got to be a whopping 6'4", 6'5" right now. He's a massive middle linebacker for the Spartans.
Third down for Hueytown from the 15-yard line, 2:15 left to go in this opening frame. Jaden Powell is going to try and reset, get the call in. 5 seconds left to go on the play clock. Uses all 5 of them, gets it across, pass across the middle, incomplete. Great job from the Spartan defense. That's Mac Mandel.
Active hands right there by Mac Mandel, hyping up his student section, and rightfully so. That is a high-level play right there. Ball across the middle. And he created the footsteps that receiver heard, and he was unable to haul that one in.
Iron City third down stop for Mountain Brook will bring up a 4th down from the 15-yard line, and that'll set up a 32-yard field goal for Hueytown.
4th and long, so the Spartans more likely to come after it here. The tough hash for a right-footed kicker.
Kicker's number 40, Jesus Sosa, a senior for the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, Jesus kicked for him last year. I remember him well.
Spartans looking to bring the pressure. Here they come. The kick is up and good for the Golden Gophers. 32 yards, and Mountain Brook leads this one 7-3 with 1:51 left in the first quarter. Wayne, if you're Shane Stearns, defensive coordinator for Mountain Brook, you got to like what you see from your guys right there, holding strong, not letting them get to the red zone and then stopping them for a 32-yard field goal in high school football is nothing to cough at.
Yeah,
that's a tough
chip shop. A great job of getting him to 3rd down, getting him to 4th down once or twice, and ultimately getting the stop right there. 3 points aren't going to win you many games in high school football, or at least games that you feel comfortable about. So we're going to take the win right there. Definitely a few things on film that they put out there with wrinkles that now, thanks to the advantage of video technology on the sidelines, we're going to be able to watch and adjust to. So we will see how it goes as Jesus prepares to send one deep here.
We had Robinson Peer take the punt return. We've got John Colvin back deep, and
Robinson
back as well.
Little brother Walt Peer played on the 4th grade Vikings not long ago. Kind of a Dwight Freeney type of 4th grade football. So
as we get later
Robinson,
into our show,
a little bit
Wayne,
more of a Reggie Wayne.
We're going to have to hear a season preview. I think you're back in the 3rd grade ranks. Is that correct this year?
Yeah, college football's back, high school football's back.
And John Colvin is back to receive. He's going to make a move across the middle, pick up a big return down to the 40, and give the Spartans great field position to start their 2nd offensive drive of the game.
Yeah, back to back. And like I was continuing to say, NBA Rec League football is back. If you're a parent or a grandparent or a local admirer of the Mountain Brook athletic system, we're back at it Saturday. Come on down, get you a bacon, egg, and cheese from the Piggly Wiggly, and watch the action at Crestline Field right after you get a good night's sleep after a Spartan win tonight.
Those guys grow up fast, and you've seen many of them throughout the years, and some of them on the field tonight. Here's a give to Stuart Andrews, who's just going to truck his way forward, not be denied, and pick up 6 on first down.
Yeah, we're not going to see many short yard carries from Stuart Andrews tonight. He is going to find the crease, hit it hard, and get his 5 or 6, and it's a matter of when, not if, he's going to break one long.
We've got 1:12 left in this first quarter. Stay with us. We won't go to commercial break. We're going to recognize our teachers for Teacher Appreciation Night. A lot of them are here. We know some of them are watching as well. Get to celebrate them and all their efforts, and the school year's off to a great start. Mountain Brook offensively trying to get off to a good start. A 2nd and 4. Stewart met abruptly in the backfield. That one will be a loss for Mountain Brook.
Yeah, missed a little backside cutoff block there. You know, a lot of times when you're on the backside of the play's going away from you, and you think, pretty easy assignment right here. But if the stun is dialed up or if your defender kind of has a key, you better be quick off the ball or you're going to look silly.
Last week, Stewart had 22 carries for 56 yards. He had the Spartans' lone touchdown. So, again, toting the rock against all types of teams all throughout the season, doing his job well. Hoffbauer in trouble. He's going to have to throw this one away.
Yeah, we're going to get intentional grounding unless they call a receiver in the area there.
See Jackson Kelly working hard as the ball boy.
We're going to hold the flag. Hold the flag. We're going to hold the flag.
There we go.
We thought about it, and I'm going to give him a shout out. Bennett Jordan, the tight end, an excellent job, just like a catcher framing a pitch, of running over to where the incomplete pass landed and feeding the white hat officials benefit of the doubt right there. Excellent work by Bennett Jordan.
Anderson Roberts on to punt with 17 seconds left in this first quarter. He's going to boot this one away, standing just inside the 35. Goes to the 19. Great kick from Roberts, but the Golden Gophers have plenty of space. They're coming down, and Roberts knocks him out of bounds. Way to go, Anderson. He can kick, and he can knock you out.
Yeah, I mean, hard to say if Anderson Roberts is a better kicker, tackler, or person. I think he's a fantastic guy. He's a fantastic tackler, and obviously he's got a boot. So I remember many times last year when our kick cover was probably not as strong as it could be. He was making some tackles. He was not afraid there against number 14 from Hueytown. I'm going to look up his name right here, and it's not on the roster, of course, unless it's on this one. So, Anton Witt. He has had a great night tonight.
That's why we keep our double roster stacked and ready. That'll be the end of the first quarter on that run. Mountain Brook leads Hueytown 7-3. We're going to kick it over to our PA announcer, Conrad Van Order, in just a moment for teacher appreciation recognition, but a great finish to that first quarter if you're Mountain Brook. Not what you want on special teams coverage, but Anderson there to save the play. And Mountain Brook takes the first frame, 7-3. Teacher Appreciation Night organized by my new colleague, Donald Clayton, working across the hall for me. And a lot of students, a lot of teachers, a lot of folks watching online. We appreciate all of our teachers, as you heard Conrad say. Over 750 employees in Mountain Brook working hard for our 4,500 students from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. We appreciate all of our teachers. Wayne, any teacher shout-outs for you? Did you have a favorite?
Well, listen, I'm not sure if he's listening. It wouldn't surprise me if he is. Dr. George Pruitt, AP U.S. History for the longest time. I believe our MVT tonight took over a portion of his teaching duties back in the day. But he and I were thick as thieves. I used to run the PowerPoints in this class. And I'll tell you what, we went to Waffle House together 2 or 3, maybe 4 years after I graduated. So he was the best of the best and exactly what this school system brings in.
Here's a second down to start the second quarter. And they will move the chains inside the 30, right around the 30.
And this Hueytown offense really settling in, the big punt return, giving them the spark. Going to test a lot of these young Spartans or new Spartans in on defense.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the 31, second play of the second quarter. Powell tries to make something out of his feet, and he's going to be forced out of bounds for a long second down. Wayne, this Mountain Brook defense flying around in this experienced secondary. You got a lot of guys that have gotten reps throughout these first 2 games.
Yeah, heat from Boyd Cooper and Will Ellis there, and unfortunately, our man that's been all over the field caught a little friendly fire right there, and is down on the play.
And out of respect for him, we will take a quick timeout, let you know how he's doing when we come back. More Spartan football when we return. Spartans up 7-3. Mountain Brook Football on NFHS Network and SpartanTV.live.
Mountain Brook, we're not just your home team. We're your team for the best value guaranteed. Save with a 3-year price lock. And get a free phone on any plan. Need even more ways to save? Get free satellite text messaging for all. Save 40% on top streaming services. Plus, save $15 a month when you bundle mobile and home. Score these great deals at Cellular Sales, your local Verizon authorized retailer.
Just confirming up here that Wayne has not lost his keys. Conrad giving an announcement that we are trying to find the owner of a lost pair of keys, but I don't think anybody at home has lost their keys, Wayne. I'm just going to take a wild guess there.
If you get the text here in a little bit, hey, I've lost my keys, we are looking for some Honda car keys. They are not for the 2011 Honda Pilot Touring Edition 4-wheel drive, driven by one Wayne Ingram.
Economy Honda of Chattanooga, shout out right there. There's the second and long across the middle. Great ball from Powell, incomplete.
Yeah.
Hosford Roberts on the coverage, but we're going to be penalized for this one.
Yeah, Hosford, call a spade, probably pass interference and doing the right job of splitting the difference between you can't let him catch the touchdown, but you also can't make it too obvious. I thought he did a pretty good job right there as the DB in single coverage.
So they will march towards the end zone. Will the Golden Gophers, the ball will be spotted right inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a first down.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this Gophers offense right now. This is a Spartan defense, a non-region game. We are still trying to kind of find our identity, and it's going to be a great test to get us ready for the rest of the season.
So here's the 1st and 10. Trio of receivers to the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a screen pass off to number 13. And hello, Mac Mandel. TFL. Great job from the senior safety.
Yeah, that was a great palindrome combination between Mac Mandel and Luke Waldrop. Luke Waldrop, Mac Mandel, 21 and 12. Sandwiching number 13 here. One went low, one went high. Only illegal if it's a chop block.
Shamarian Roller rolls into the turf and meets the Mountain Brook secondary.
Check into the sideline here. Want to make sure they're in the right formation. With trips to the field, kind of seem to think it was a run-pass option. Receiver's not quite sure, so I'm going to guess run.
Second and long from the 15. Pass is into the end zone, complete to number 4. That's Quintrell Jackson, the senior wide receiver, brings it in, and Hueytown tallies on 6.
Quintrell did not know that route until about a half second before he ran it, so very tough for the Spartans to get a key pre-snap. He's able to hit the seam. Well-placed ball by the Golden Gophers pass thrower, and the Spartans are going to go down in the second quarter here by at least 9-7. Jesus on for the extra point.
Kick is up from Jesus, and good. So we've got a 10-7 ball game. Golden Gophers lead the Spartans on their own turf with 11:39 to play in this second quarter, Wayne. And We talked about the defense playing solid, holding strong, but that pass over the middle, what did you see on the, you called it a late play call, but what happened there in the Spartan secondary?
Yeah, basically that was one of those check with me plays. They went up there and lined up. They got their formation set. They saw how the Spartans were going to react to it on defense, and then they check with me. They turn to the sideline and they say, hey, coach, now that you've seen the big up top shot, what do you want us to do? And right there it said, hey, we don't have a safety in the middle of the field, or we don't predict there to be a safety in the middle of the field. Let's hit that seam, use our athleticism, use our speed, and the quarterback that time able to deliver a strike over the middle for the touchdown.
So early into the second quarter, the Golden Gophers grab a lead from the Spartans, and Mountain Brook with another kick return. You see number 14, Gabe Smith, standing right above the top of the Spartan with his club, we'll call it. But
yeah, you'd have to really get a good view of the club. I will say Gabe looked at me and said, hey, Wayne, I went 2 for 2 in warm-ups talking about catches, and I asked him, how many passes got thrown your way?
He said 2. And there goes John Colvin making a move and making a hit, delivering the boom. John Colvin down to the 30. What a return from the junior.
Well, I tell you what, you don't always want to shake and bake Jesus, but I kind of wish we did right there. We decided to truck him. Taking off his helmet, he's going to have to come out for the next play. But an excellent return, and I'll tell you what, ultimately sprung by the kick return team there, by the Spartans, getting a hat on a hat. Excellent return. We saw a punt return on the last drive really spring it for Hueytown, giving them a short field. And right here, the Spartans are going to have one on the minus 31 going into the end zone.
Wayne, as we talked about last week, we're going back to that Waffle House on 31, trying to get into the Royal Automotive red zone, and Mountain Brook has it on first down. Hoffbauer gives to Stewart, who's going to roll left and deliver a hit himself, pick up about a yard.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a pretty excellent athletic feat. Out of number 91, Jermaine Lewis, the junior defensive lineman. Coming over from the backside, Rocco not quite able to get the jump technique locked in. Spartans coming out in a balanced formation, shifting to trips right.
So right under the 11-minute mark in this second quarter, 2nd and 9 from the 30. Hoffbauer is going to give it to Stewart, who's going to go right and trudge forward for maybe a foot, maybe a yard.
Yeah, we're having
we're
having a really tough time right now with the interior defensive linemen, really from the backside. We had some backside defensive end issues early on, and this is an offensive line with, Pearson Avery out, thankfully not for a long period of time as we feared last week. We are breaking in some new starters this year and some new starters tonight, so it takes a lot of time for that unit to gel. I mean, William, it's a little bit more like zone defense in basketball. You have to communicate, you have to work together, and that offensive line unit is learning that as we go.
We've got a couple basketball players on our team. I know we can make this work, especially one in Rocco Gray.
Yeah, I believe we're going to get delay a game here. Sorry, that's illegal substitution.
We do have the official mic'd up for the stadium mic. Pretty cool. Shout out to Assistant Principal Eric Hollis for that, for our fans in attendance tonight. But we've got Wayne to give you all the penalty assessments and reviews here as you watch.
I actually think that was
home.
their delay a game. It kind of looked a little Macarena-esque. I realized the play clock at 0.
Nonetheless, we've got a 3rd and long from the 35-yard line. And Stewart's going to motion to the bottom of your screen.
Same play call.
Hoffbauer looking to throw, pressured and wrapped up, taken down near midfield.
Another one of those protection issues. And, listen, the offensive line, I'm not going to diminish the talent we have this year, but it really does take a long time for all of you to get on the same page, especially when you're in pass protection. They're bringing different guys at different times. Listen, we got the crash course of it last week because Parker was sitting back in 0 coverage, bringing everybody. And it's just going to take a little more time for us to gel for some of those straight drop back passes, which is why we prefer to move the pocket a little bit more with Caden.
And Wayne, this Golden Gopher defensive front is just tremendously talented as well. So hat tip to them and all the pressure and the talent that they have on that side of the ball. Roberts kicks this one well to the 10-yard line.
Here we go. We're going to get a block in the back. It took a hands flopping up for, I believe, Pearson Trammell, number 36. a former 4th grade Mountain Brook Buccaneer. Pearson, his mom, Petra, Sister Langley, shout out right there. He was able to draw the block in the back, hopefully back us up inside
the
10-yard line.
It was a quick flag pickup. That's why we've got 2 of us up here. My eyes deceive me. I need to bring back my unsponsored binoculars.
Yeah, you know what? Every now and again I know something. But just about the time I figure out that I know something, I realize I didn't know it at all.
There you go. And that is the beauty of education.
That's why we appreciate our teachers, William. Here we go.
So this will back up the Golden Gophers to the 5. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 5 with 9:15 left to go.
Will Ellis able to return to the field here. Good to see him back out there.
Absolutely. Mason Baines in on the defensive line for Mountain Brook, and here's a give. And here's Miller Lee and a host of Spartans.
Miller Lee put it out, but Will Ellis started the fire right there. Bursting into the backfield, creating a little bit of clutter that Miller Lee was able to cap off and extinguish. You see him right there.
Yeah,
Will
inside.
Ellis low, Miller Lee high. We like that.
Wesley Stewart, our field camera operator, giving you that look right there. There's LG Williams, cornerback for Mountain Brook, helping out in the absence of Hayes Wendell.
Spartans bringing a little bit more into the run game here.
2nd and long goes maybe a yard.
I like it.
2-yard pickup there on the run by Robinson. Will Ellis
We didn't get a look all the way across the track, Wayne, but I know probably not a bad fiery, but an intense coaching staff defensively trying to get their guys ready, and Coach Hamlin and Coach Stearns getting their guys turned up and ready for this defensive series. You can tell the energy shift has changed from this Spartan defensive front and the secondary.
A lot of time in the tent, a lot of time focusing, locking in. And a lot of times you just say, well, hey, go make the tackle, go make a play. What does that really mean? You have to know specific things. You have to know, hey, you got fooled by this, or hey, this motion means this, or this wrinkle means this, in order for it to actually make sense. Remember that for rec league football tomorrow.
Yes, all of our future Spartans getting ready. Hey, we've got a Medical Properties Trust timeout on the field taken by Hueytown. We will take a quick commercial break with them. Stay with us. Hueytown leads Mountain Brook 10-7 in the second quarter, 7:45 left to go.
This is head football coach Chris Yeager. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for your support of our football team and the athletic department. We couldn't do what we do without you, so thank you for your support, and go Spartans.
Hey, I'm David Faulkner. As a graduate of Mountain Brook and as a parent of 3 students who graduated from Mountain Brook, I am proud to support Mountain Brook High School athletics. I hope you'll join me in doing the same, and I look forward to seeing you at a game. Go Spartans.
We welcome you back into Spartan Stadium. I'm William Galloway alongside Wayne Ingram, and a 3rd and 10 for Hueytown with 7:45 left to go in this third quarter. Great view from our production crew and the Spartan defense trying to make some noise on this Iron City 3rd down. Here's Powell rolling, looking, incomplete. Mountain Brook defense gets the job done on 3rd down. That's what we want, Wayne.
Excellent job. Lawson McKnight in coverage. Ready and prepared. Makes it a tough throw there for the Hueytown gunslinger. Believe he goes by Jaden Powell.
Jaden Powell.
The senior quarterback. Back again. I remember him last year.
Robinson Pier, again, deep to receive for Mountain Brook.
And so the everlasting question, do you come after it, or are you a little bit more conservative? And I'll tell you what, we got John Colvin coming up close and now dropping back in case we get a little bit of an outside kick.
This one will go to Pier on the top of the screen, fielded around the 40. He's going to make a move, take a spin, and take a dive right around the 20-yard line. You can't get much better field position than that if you're the Mountain Brook Spartans starting in the Royal Automotive Red Zone.
Yeah, really good work. You can see Gabe Rodriguez has been grinding the tape. Seems like they kind of have like a deep kick to the hash mark, or maybe they try and hit a little of a duck hook down the left side, and so we're dropping a returner out there late, making it a tough decision for the punter. That time we're still able to set up the return, get us into the Royal red zone.
Here's a 1st and 10. Hoffbauer gives to Stewart, and Stewart is going to go all the way. Stewart Andrews, touchdown, Spartans. Mountain Brook regains the lead with 7:21 left to go in this second quarter.
Well, we said when, not if, and the prophecy has been fulfilled. Stewart Andrews in the end zone right there. Kind of an inside zone technique that he's able to bounce, as he often does, to the outside.
Great blocking on that right side.
And all that means is we got a hat on a hat. If you've got free defenders running through, the zone play is not going to work, which is why it's not really tried until the higher levels of football.
So Stewart finds the end zone. Anderson Roberts splits the upright thanks to the help of Sam Smith along with Patrick Cry, and Mountain Brook takes a 14-10 lead with 7:21 remaining in this second quarter, Wayne. Just like that, things can happen and things can turn in high school football. That's what we love to see.
Yeah, looking at some first quarter stats, obviously we're about halfway here into the second. Stewart Anderson was 5 carries for 12 yards right there. He had some really steady mid-range carries and then had a couple tackles for loss because we weren't able to really seal off the backside. But obviously right there is going to help the YPC. And we are feasting it back to the elastic leg of one William Russ, another former 4th grade Mountain Brook Buccaneer, alongside Pearson Trammell.
Sounds like that was a squad.
We had a squad, and if the coach was a little better, we would have made the Super Bowl. Came up out of play short. Playing at the JCC that year.
True champion as a coach, Wayne, blaming it on himself. We're not saying it was you. We know that, assessments.
No, I'll say it's me.
Well, pass the blame and give it right back. There we go. Anderson Russ sends this one to Spartan Arena.
Anderson Russ, we just combined our kickers,
Russ,
turning him to one sort of mega human. We're going to get offsides right there. So we said, hey, William, you can kick it out from the 40. We've seen it 2, 3, 4 times tonight, multiple times this season. Let's back you up 5 yards. Do it one more time for us.
And let's test that leg. See if you can actually get it to Spartan Arena from right there. That is William Russ.
We can usually kick it to the top of the A in Spartan. So if he gets it there again, that shows William's got a little bit more to him. He's got a little gravel in his gut.
He's calling a shot right there.
He's calling it. He just went Babe Ruth. We saw it. Oh, one-handed grab.
Wow.
And that's the thing, William Galloway, William Russ is an athlete, and I'm not saying kickers are not athletes.
Well, on
Anderson
our depth
Roberts,
chart,
probably one of our better
defensive back.
Anderson Roberts, one of the better tacklers on the team, as I've well covered. But we have 2 kicker athletes right now. William Russ, the one-handed catch, all eyes on him. Maybe about 25% of the student section watching.
And here we go.
Will
the
it
Vulcan
happen?
Tire and Auto kickoff. William Russ boots that one to the goal line. It's another touchback. We need a William Russ touchback sponsor. That person would be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, the William Russ touchback for kids.
But
we're going to start donating $1
out of Wayne's
asking
pocket
for matches. We'll do $1 for every cash dollar I have in my pocket.
It's all. Richard Estes would say it's almost as if we need a Vulcan Tire and Auto kickoff sponsor. Well, thank you, Richard. We do.
Well, we need a kickoff sponsor. We need a kickback sponsor. Because, we all love a kickoff, but we love a kickback.
Perhaps the Wayne Ingram Family Foundation touchback.
Yeah, we're not quite there, Willie G. One day.
One day soon. 7:21 left to go in this second quarter. It's a screen pass to the near side, wrapped up, and it's Mac Mandel in on the stop for Mountain Brook.
Yeah, really good play design right there, well blocked, but Mac Mandel said, the only thing between me and a touchdown is me. And he was willing to lay his body on the line right there and make the stop. We're playing a lot of, I would call it zero coverage right here. We got 3 receivers at the top. Miller Lee apexing, but.
Ball! Spartans jump on it. Do we have it? We do. Taco Mama turnover. Mountain Brook barges into the Taco Mama, takes what's theirs, and we're going the other way.
Recovered by Skip to my Stewerman right there. His parents are going to be real fired up that I broke that one out. That is a heads-up play by Skip. Ball on the ground. He's been living in the backfield this game. It was about that time he would be ready to receive the errant center quarterback exchange and set the Spartans up just on the edge of the Royal Automotive red zone.
Skip Stewerman brings us a Taco Mama turnover, and the Spartan defense, 3 games, 3 forced turnovers. It's something we saw consistently all of last year, and they're off to a great start through 3 games. Hoffbauer with a ton of pressure wrapped up for a big loss. Great job. Hat tip to number 24 for Hueytown right there. That is number 24, Jacoby Rogers.
Normally very advantaged on those rollout boots. That time, Hueytown all over it. I bet, I'd be shocked if they don't have a player committed to it every single time they snap the ball. No matter what, don't bite on the run fake. You got the quarterback, and that time, that defender took the play to heart. Number 11 right there. Looks like Keegan Horn, the senior defensive lineman. A lot of seniors on this Hueytown team contributing in a big way.
Play fake from Hoffbauer to Stewart, and he's going to look long, intended for Trey Vinson. Could not bring it in. Double coverage from the Golden Gophers, and Mountain Brook has got...
More bad news. We got a holding at about the 50-yard line. If they decline it, it's going to be 3rd and long. If they accept it, it could be 2nd and
even longer.
A whole awful lot. And they are going to decline it, bring up 3rd down.
Caden Hoffbauer does his best work later in the drives, as we know.
Offensive coordinators always looking for explosive plays. Now you need one.
Plenty of space to work with if you're Mountain Brook. As you see, 6:10 to go and a long way. Hoffbauer going to use his legs, roll far side, and brought down by the back of his shoulder pads. Not quite near enough.
Yeah, more of nameplate than horse collar right there. So minimal yardage gain, brings up the 4th down. Spartans electing to punt, but a timeout here called for the elements, the heat. Why not?
And we'll take one with them. Quick water break timeout here per AHSAA rules. Spartans back on top, 14-10, 5:56 left to go in this second quarter. We welcome you back to Spartan Stadium. I'm William Galloway alongside Wayne Ingram. Our production crew this evening, Jonathan Barbie, Jason Anderson, Wesley Stewart, Brooklyn Anderson, and Brady Moscato. And Mountain Brook has got a 4th and a country mile, and Anderson Roberts on to punt for the Spartans, going left to right. Roberts is going to boot this one into the night sky. It'll take a bounce inside the 10 and roll out right there. And that is where the Golden Gophers will take over. 1st and 10. Wayne, we want to give a quick shout out. We love all of our fans and all of our viewers, but we've got some special fans who submit photos each week. Here's our fan of the game this week. This is Hutch Cole, Mountain Brook School's student, and he faithfully watches every Friday night with his family. Big shout out to Hutch, all of the Cole faithful, and their support of Mountain Brook football in our broadcast.
Yeah, Hutch, an elite defensive end and a developing center for the 4th grade Seahawks last year. Big 5th grade season ahead of them, kicking off tomorrow. Shout out to the Cole family, avid supporters of your Mountain Brook Spartans.
And hey, if you want to be the fan of the game and you want to be like Hutch Cole, you can find a way to contact us online. Wayne and I are pretty accessible, and we will get you on the broadcast. I know we had people watching all over Mountain Brook, all over Birmingham, the state, the country last week in our game at Parker. Well over 5,000 viewers, and we want to interact with all of our fans on Friday night. Not our fans, but Spartan football fans.
You know, it just so happens that Hutch's dad set up me and my wife Tara is directly responsible for our daughter, Virginia Brooks, being here today. So you don't have to be that close to us, though. Just find us on Twitter.
Absolutely.
X.com, the Everything app.
And here's a second and short. Pass over the middle, complete for the Golden Gophers. Brought in by number 44, Tyler Avehart, the sophomore H-back, and that'll move the chains for Hueytown.
You're locking back in here. Hueytown with plenty of time right now. They've been able to work the middle of the field effectively. In high school football, you get a lot of cover 2 looks. Middle of the field's typically open. A great stop by there by Luke Waldrop and Miller Lee, the 2 linebackers for the Spartans. I'll go ahead and steal your play-by-play there, Willie G.
Yeah, just roll right into it, please. I appreciate that. I was thinking about what Hutch would call, how he would call that play.
Got to call it like Hutch here.
So a 2nd and 10. Now 4:22 left to go in this first half. Golden Gophers getting their play call in, and
we're going to shift here. We didn't like our strong side, weak side matchup.
Billy Farrow, Boyd Cooper do a little twist and turn and incomplete pass to bring up a 3rd and long, and great job by the Mountain Brook defense trying to get the right alignment and being in place and fall on good luck with an incomplete pass there.
Yeah, trying to run a little bit of a stop route there and miscommunication on exactly where to stop. If you're wondering about miscommunication on where to stop, just go to Mountain Brook Village right now and check out those new traffic circles. That one's for free, Willie G.
I appreciate that. You know, I think you're at your best, Wayne, when you're up here in the comforts of home. Here's a 3rd and long. Mountain Brook defense trying to swallow up the Golden Gophers. Powell looking long, and he's got his man incomplete. Mac Mandel does the job for an Iron City 3rd down stop. Great job by Mac, and quickly runs off to the sideline.
Jaden doing an excellent job of buying time and keeping his eyes downfield. Unfortunately, hit his receiver directly in the hands right there, and he's unable to make the grab. That's a tough one in transition when you're slowing down and turning around, but I was impressed by the throw right there by the senior pass thrower.
Yeah, Mac Mandel.
That's not the coolest thing to call a quarterback. We can think of something better than that. Signal caller.
That'll work. Mac Mandel shaking it out on the sideline over there. Robinson Pierre is going to fair catch this one at the 46, where the Mountain Brook offense will take over with 3:46 left to go in this second quarter.
Quick comment. I think Coach Yeager has figured out that the best way to put a kick returner back there that's not afraid to drop it is just to throw a sophomore that doesn't know what he doesn't know back there. Because Robinson Pierre making the bold catch in traffic with defenders pressing down on him. Impressive stuff right there. Peerless, one would say.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Here's a 1st and 10 for Mountain Brook from the 46-yard line. 3:45 left to go in this first half. Stewart going left side, breaking a tackle, breaking down the far sideline, and moving his way forward inside the 35 for a big first down.
Yeah, we're starting to settle in right now. Offensive line is gelling. I can even see them walking back to the line of scrimmage talking to each other like, hey, we're starting to figure this thing out. It's starting to feel like old times.
And a lot of experience on this O-line, but obviously you got Henry Slaughter in for the injured Pearson Avery, and, you know, you talk about gel. Even just one guy being out can make you readjust and reassess everything, and so they're hitting their stride right now, and Stewart is hitting his stride as well across the 25-yard line. It looks like it'll be enough for a first down. Mountain Brook moving the chains.
Excellent work right there. Plenty of time on the clock. We have loved this outside zone look. Not necessarily the stretch zone. We ran stretch zone with the quarterback for the big play earlier, but this outside zone with the option to cut back or bounce it has been money for the Spartans here in the second quarter.
It's not going to be enough for the first down. It'll be second and a very short one from the 26. And here's Lawson McKnight working overtime tonight on the offensive side of the ball, and he is going to power forward for a first down.
I tell you what, Willie G, as much as he loves making most of the tackles for us on defense, I think Lawson missed toting the rock because he just refused to go down. Contacted right there at the 24, 26-yard line, honestly, and falling all the way to the 17. That's called heart, pluck, grit, will, anything that you would put on the wall of a weight room.
knocking down the door of the Royal Automotive Red Zone, putting Mountain Brook in at the 17. There's a timeout on the field, and we will take a quick timeout with them. Spartans up 14-10 with 2:46 left to go in this first half.
This is head football coach Chris Yeager. Thank you for watching Mountain Brook Spartan football on NFHS Network and SpartanTV.live. Now, back to the action.
We welcome you back to Spartan Stadium. Mountain Brook with a 14-10 lead with 2:46 left to go in this first half. The visiting Hueytown Golden Gophers have tested the Spartans, and it's been a little bit of a back-and-forth contest this evening, Wayne, but Mountain Brook is trying to head into the half on what might be their last possession of this first half with a strong offensive presence.
Yeah, this is a well-coached, well-outfitted squad right here. Seem to resemble the Furman Paladins. Your brother-in-law might know something about that. But the Spartans have just about as many plays as we need to try and grind it out and punch it in right here before the half.
So the Spartans in the Royal Automotive Red Zone on the 17-yard line, and Hoffbauer stands in the gun, 2 receivers to the near side. This one goes to Stewart, and Stewart is taken down after a short pickup. But, Wayne, we saw Lawson McKnight give us that first down. We've talked about him early on this season, changing sides of the ball, offense last year, defense this year. He was even defense as a sophomore. So he's done a lot of flip-flopping, a lot of back and forth, but giving Stewart a break will be instrumental as we progress throughout the night. Stewart's a back that gets 20, 30 carries an evening.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the taco shell commercial for Lawson McKnight. Hard shell, soft shell, offense, defense. Why don't we do both?
Of that unsponsored
the taco shell
contributor. Hoffbauer pass in is complete to Wallace Hunter, who brings it in on second down. Wallace will help us pick up 3 or 4 yards and bring up a third and medium with plenty of time. 1:51 left in this first half.
Good job tracking that ball right there. Getting 2 hands on it, securing the catch, and bringing up manageable yardage here on third down.
So, Wayne, you got a third and 5, we'll say, from the 12, 1:51, but this Mountain Brook offense certainly in no hurry, has all of its timeouts. Hueytown really trying to capitalize on clock management. But if you're Mountain Brook, your Coach Yeager, your coach, offensive coordinator Brad Easley, you have to be pleased with what you've seen from your offense, the execution. When we think about the struggles last week of a really, really good Parker team, defending state champion, but responding and growing for a new game, a new environment, and what we've seen tonight has been a very good product.
Yeah, Parker was able to take the run game away, and that is the lifeblood of this Mountain Brook program for the last 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 decades. So if we can't run the ball, it's very, very tough for us to be competitive offensively. And fortunately tonight, we are back to same old, getting some good yards per carry. We'll check in with Charles at halftime to see just how many.
A little rotation from tight end Bennett Jordan on the top of the stack. Hoffbauer throwing to the far side, complete to Sam Smith, 12 yards into the end zone. Another one for the senior. Sam Smith scores 6 for the Spartans.
Well, Sam Smith scoring 6 for the Spartans. If you had more alliteration, they'd kick you off the airway. What a great run route. Able to sit down there short of the safety. Caden Hoffbauer rolling left as he's a little bit more comfortable doing, even though that's to his technically offside from a throwing perspective.
Cry to Smith, to Roberts. It is good, and you can pop the confetti here in the stands as our parents are doing. Mountain Brook's got a 21-10 lead with 1:45 left to go in this first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, William, I'm old enough to remember where, tight time situations before the half end of game, the Spartan offense didn't have many options, but we are an explosive running team right now. We're not just needing 4 or 5 yards of carry. We're willing to gash you for a few. We were able to get us down into the low red area with that, and then an excellent rollout to the left. Sam Smith finding the open space, sitting down, making the cornerback miss. and prancing on into that end zone. That is a huge 7 points here for the Spartan faithful.
So Sam with his 4th touchdown catch of the season. He had 3 in the season home opener versus Demopolis. He had 4 total as a junior last year. So just in 3 games, Sam has met and tied his touchdown number from last season. And I'm sure we'll see many more of those throughout his senior campaign.
Well, we talked about William Russ one too many times. Might have gotten the text from his mom earlier. We were real fired up, and we flew a little too close to the sun with the out-of-bounds kickoff there. Just caught it a little bit high on the ball. That's going to happen. And ball out of bounds there. Going to get brought out here to, I believe, the 35.
Yeah, 1:45 left to go in this half, Wayne, and this is a great opportunity for our Spartan defense to be battle tested and to really see if we can go with a quick 3 and out and even maybe put more points on the board. But a great opportunity for the Mountain Brook defense to show what they're made of and show what they've learned and how they've grown from last week's contest, where Parker put up well over 350, 400 yards
Tunnel
of offense.
screen, skips there. Sorry about that, Willie. Got fired up.
No.
I'll tell you
We're
what,
always fired up for Skip Stewerman.
Mason Baines does a great job of retracing the screen. That simply means recognizing, hey, it's a screen. I shouldn't be coming through the line this quick. Retracing, going back, and Skip Stewerman was there to bottle it up for a short gain.
And here's Powell on the 2nd down and medium, and he is met by Miller Crumpton, who makes the tackle. Is it going to be enough for a first down? The officiating crew says it is, down to the 45.
In 2-minute drill, we're really just trying to get tackles in bounds right now. Run that clock, no big chunk yardages.
Good job by Miller being in the right spot at the right time. Clock running at 1:05 left in this second quarter. Powell pressured from Baines, pressured from Roberts, and he's forced out of bounds right around the 46-yard line.
Little better than an incomplete pass right there. With a minute left on the clock, it is really true 2-minute defense for the Spartans, and not something we really excelled at last year. That was where Hueytown was able to get back into this ball game at their house last year. So let's see if the Spartans can bow up here, keep them out of the field goal range for Jesus.
A 2nd and 9 with 60 ticks of the clock remaining in the second quarter. See Boyd Cooper near the bottom of that defensive line.
Mason Baines, Will Ellis on the inside.
Powell throwing over the middle. Luke Weldrip in on the coverage, and they're going to bring it in. Great catch from number 5 of the Golden Gophers. That's Kamar Williams-Eatman, the senior, and they get a great first down right when they need it.
Yeah, well timed there by the...
And the Golden Gophers moving quickly as they need to do with no timeouts. Here's a pass to Williams-Eatman again. It is a 25-yard touchdown strike, and the Golden Gophers answer just as quick as the Spartans struck on the previous drive.
Yeah, they've just found the seam tonight, about 20, 25 yards down the field, right in between where you've separated from the linebacker or the corner that's picking you up off the line, and before the safety's able to get in there. You know, we would call that the hole shot. It's the hole in between the safety and the second level of the defense, and they have just made their hay with it tonight. A quick drive right there, but fortunately 3 timeouts for the Spartans with 44 seconds left if we want to pursue a scoring opportunity right here. Probably going to be dependent on the kick return unit.
Absolutely. So a 21-17 contest, 44 seconds left in this first half. Wayne, we talked about wanting to respond, and those were 2 quick plays, but you got to give credit where credit is due. That was a great ball, a great route, and hat tip to Hueytown and number 5, Kamar Williams-Eatman on 2 great grabs.
And William, I'll tell you how college or high school football works. If you just look at the numbers we've called tonight, Jaden Powell, senior, Quintrell Jackson, senior, Kamar Williams-Eatman, senior. I feel like Keegan Horn, senior. All the names that I remember looking down here and seeing tonight and calling out are senior football players for the Golden Gophers. They have seen multiple battles in their day. This is their season, and they are not going to just lay down and take it. They are ready to fight every single play, every single drive.
And that's what they're doing.
That's going to be the challenge for the Spartans.
So Vulcan Tire and Auto kickoff coming to Mountain Brook. On the left side of your screen, it's fielded by Colvin, and he's going to take this and try and make another big return. Yep. This one across the 35-yard line right to the 38, where Mountain Brook will take over with 37 seconds left.
I tell you, I saw John Colvin before the game tonight, and I still remember the bowl cut, 6th grader. Looked like he had been stung by bees on all his major muscle groups. He is probably rocking about a 3% body fat right now, and it's making him very efficient in the return game.
One of Mountain Brook's fastest players on the offense, but also with a lot of speed is Hoffbauer, and he looks to the near side. He finds Sam Smith. Once again, a completion, and do we get the timeout in? It's a pickup of 8. We're going to move quickly here. 28 seconds and running.
Not necessarily Coach Yeager's way to get aggressive before the half. We're probably going to take one more chunk play here.
Rocco sets it in motion to Hoffbauer. He passes to the top of your screen. That's complete to Colvin. He's knocked out of bounds with 18 seconds left to go across midfield and right around the 43-yard line.
All right, so 3 timeouts, 18 seconds. Don't have to worry about out of bounds. You want to take some chunk plays, but we don't really like paint in the middle of the field. That requires a straight drop back. We like to roll the pocket a little bit more, so let's see what the Spartans go with here. We can also run the ball.
Clock standing still at 18 seconds. Hoffbauer in the gun, and Stuart Andrews to his right. Hoffbauer, a little lob pass, looking for Sam Smith. That one is high-pointed by the defensive back, and that one is an interception.
Anton Witt, I've called a lot of seniors' names tonight for the Hueytown Golden Gophers, but Anton Witt, the sophomore DB, he's had a night in the run game setting the edge. He's had a night now in the pass game with the interception and the punt return game. Just an excellent performance by the sophomore. Now with 12 seconds left, Spartan defense just come out here.
Bring him to the ground once or twice. And
get in the prevent, or the prevent, as we would normally pronounce the word, unless it was a football situation.
Football term, exactly. 12 seconds to go. To prevent, to
prevent.
Hyphen vent.
Yeah.
Yeah, secondary way back, doing what they need to do. Ball is spotted on the 22 with 12 seconds to go in this second quarter, and it's going to be a give. Wow, great hit there from Hosford Roberts. Clock will tick down.
As soon as the first down
to
set,
4.
They'll have a chance to run a play, but then we're going to take this one to the half. I believe.
Once we get set, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're going to head to our halftime break. Coming up, we'll have the Mountain Brook band, but Mountain Brook leads 21-17. The Spartans lead Hueytown in a non-region game. Wayne, 10 seconds of quick first half analysis as we go to the break.
Yeah, ultimately it comes down. Offense looks like it's moved the ball steadily. We have got to figure out something with this intermediate passing game. It's the 20 to 25-yard range right there in between the safety and the corners that's really getting us in fits right now. And look for the Spartan defense to adjust, whether that be with different coverages on the back end, but perhaps a little bit more aggressive in the pass rush. Right now we're trying to contain the quarterback to the inside, and maybe it's time to go ahead and get after him, not let him set his feet and make those throws.
We're going to recoup. We're going to pay some bills, and when we return, you will hear from our Mountain Brook Mighty Spartan Marching Band. But first, we take a break for halftime. Enjoy your Friday evening. More football coming up later. This is Mountain Brook Football on NFHS Network and SpartanTV.live.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
There's only one place Alabama trusts for every ride, time after time. Royal Automotive at the corner of I-65 and Highway 31 in Vestavia. 4 dealerships, unmatched selection, countless smiles. For over 50 years, your friends and neighbors have chosen Royal for every ride for generations. Royal Buick GMC, Royal Volkswagen, Volvo Cars of Vestavia Hills, and Royal Pre-Owned Automart, where I-65 meets Highway 31. RoyalAutomotive.net. For every ride, there's Royal.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt a communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
You've got places you want to be, and when it comes to your vehicle, you need a team you can depend on to get you there. With the best prices on tires guaranteed, as well as oil changes, shocks and struts, brakes, and more, bumper to bumper, the ASC certified mechanics at Vulcan Tire and Automotive are here to get you there. A proud supporter of Mountain Brook High School athletics, with Vulcan Tire and Automotive, where you go, we go together.
This is head football coach Chris Yeager. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for your support of our football team and the athletic department. We couldn't do what we do without you, so thank you for your support, and go Spartans.
Admit it. Deep down in places you don't like to think about it, like yoga class, you want one. You really want one. Introducing the new bacon cheeseburger from Milo's.
This is head football coach Chris Yeager. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for your support of our football team and the athletic department. We couldn't do what we do without you, so thank you for your support, and go Spartans.
Baptist Health is on your team. Where every play, every cheer, every moment matters. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Our commitment to your care and the health of our community is at the heart of everything we do. Baptist Health. On your team, on and off the field.
Mountain Brook, we're not just your home team. We're your team for the best value guarantee. Save with a 3-year price lock. And get a free phone on any plan. Need even more ways to save? Get free satellite text messaging for all. Save 40% on top streaming services. Plus, save $15 a month when you bundle mobile and home. Score these great deals at Cellular Sales, your local Verizon authorized retailer.
Hey, I'm David Faulkner. As a graduate of Mountain Brook And as a parent of 3 students who graduated from Mountain Brook, I am proud to support Mountain Brook High School athletics. I hope you'll join me in doing the same, and I look forward to seeing you at a game. Go Spartans!
There's only one place Alabama trusts for every ride, time after time. Royal Automotive at the corner of I-65 and Highway 31 in Vestavia. 4 dealerships, unmatched selection, countless smiles. For over 50 years, your friends and neighbors have chosen Royal for every ride for generations. Royal Buick GMC, Royal Volkswagen, Volvo Cars of Vestavia Hills, and Royal Pre-Owned Automart, where I-65 meets Highway 31. RoyalAutomotive.net. For every ride, there's Royal.
Right when I toured Stanford's campus, I immediately felt a communal atmosphere and environment.
A lot of parents, they're looking for a place where their children can come, they can continue to grow in Christ, they can feel safe, and they can be encouraged and motivated.
We promise them that when they come, they're going to be surrounded by people who love them, who help them to find meaning and purpose in their life, and who really help them to flourish and become the men and women that God is calling them to be.
Out of every place that I could have gone, this was the place for me.
One might be tempted to say, "Excuse me, Mr. Grill Man, there appears to be a little extra burger on my burger." You're dang right there is.
Only an hour and a half from Spartan Stadium, Lake Martin is more than just a lake. It's a century-old symbol of energy and recreation. At Russell Lands, we've always known its power. Sunrises and sunsets captivate us, and memories are made all summer. Russell Lands celebrates the lake with a community of lakefront neighborhoods, marinas, restaurants, golf, markets, and an adventure center. We're committed to honoring and preserving Lake Martin's beauty and spirit for generations to come. That's the power of the lake.
Featuring music from Hamilton, Mamma Mia, Hueytown, and Dear Evan Hansen. And now, the Mountain Brook High School Marching Band.
Ada Dapkus, is your band ready? ladies and gentlemen, the mighty marching Spartans!
marching Spartans are Sam Egan, Olivia Mahoney, Liam Stowe, Baron Farr, Ellie Grace Farmer, Connor Brown, Ellen Prusher, Leo Erickson, and Olivia Carnes. The band directors are Mr. James Rogers, Miss Sarah Nedzvetsky, Dr. Michelle Smith, and Mr. Jackson Vaughn. The Dorian sponsor is Karen Svetley, head coach is Anna Schofield. The Dorian manager is Bergen Wilkinson. The color guard sponsor is Miss NFL. The color guard coaches are Kenzie Stewart and Henry Yang. Percussion instruction is...
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Welcome back into Spartan Stadium. William Galloway alongside Wayne Ingram. Special guest Brian Lucas here. Wayne is going to talk to Brian about Mountain Brook Athletics Youth Football. It's something that Wayne and I talk about. Wayne, you've been a coach for a long time, but I want you and Brian for just a few minutes here as we wrap up halftime to discuss youth football. And you guys have coached. Brian, you've led the program for a long time, so thank you for taking some time. You work over in the press box on Friday nights, and you're running our cookie operation every Friday night, handing out the most valuable cookie player. But tell us a little bit about the youth program and what you do and why it's so important to Mountain Brook.
Yeah, as they're handing off, we'll mention Brian Lucas, retired commissioner of Mountain Brook Athletics football, 4-time retired coach, and now about to start his 37th season coaching on the sidelines once more. So welcome back out of retirement,
Coach
Coach
so
Lucas.
much. Yeah.
How the boys looking this year?
Listen, they're fantastic. We have 342 kids playing in the youth program, 3rd through 6th grade. Opening day is this Saturday, and we actually play each other tomorrow.
We're going head-to-head, 11:30, if I'm not mistaken, right after the rain clears. We're going to go lace it up in competitive American tackle football. You know, Coach Lucas, 37 years, what keeps you coming back?
I love the kids, and each year it just gets better. The families, like I said, Glenn Donald, I'm coaching his grandson now. It's the generations of being together with all these families, and it's what makes Mountain Brook special. All these non-dads out here volunteering. We have 83 non-dads out coaching, but they come back every year, and it's just a special environment for these kids to, learn to be Spartans on Crestline Field on Saturday morning. There's nothing like it.
Well, and I've started to experience it now in my 8th year, but what's it feel like when you see the guys that you coach maybe in 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade that are now out there in the green and gold? How's that feel?
Listen, it's such a joy and excitement to see these young men, and it's, the brotherhood of being a Spartan is just so unique. And it really starts 3rd grade football out there on Crestline Field. And we get to see these kids as seniors, and, it's just special. And it goes by so fast. You just got to get out and support these kids. To me, football is really the lifeblood of the community, and it's just so important. Your cheerleaders, everybody, your band. It just brings everybody together on Friday nights, and there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, well said. It's what brings us together. And we first met when I was a 6th grader, and you coached up the 6th grade Raiders. I was the all-star center, really good at snapping, really bad at everything else. So if he could get me all the way through senior year of football, he can get your kids too. And we've got a lot of great coaches in the Mountain Brook Athletic system. We've got the highest participation rate for high school football in the state. So if you've been on the fence in years past, we would love to encourage you to sign your son up next fall. We're looking forward to seeing all the future Spartans out there this weekend. And, Coach, we're looking forward to playing each other tomorrow.
It's going to be awesome.
Best man win.
Let's do it. Thank you.
Awesome. That was great. Here we go.
Baptist Health is on your team. Where every play, every cheer, every moment matters. From everyday care to life's emergencies, we've got you covered. Our commitment to your care and the health of our community is at the heart of everything we do. Baptist Health. On your team, on and off the field.
Only an hour and a half from Spartan Stadium, Lake Martin is more than just a lake. It's a century-old symbol of energy and recreation. At Russell Lands, we've always known its power. Sunrises and sunsets captivate us, and memories are made all summer. Russell Lands celebrates the lake with a community of lakefront neighborhoods, marinas, restaurants, golf, markets, and an adventure center. We're committed to honoring and preserving Lake Martin's beauty and spirit for generations to come. That's the power of the lake.
Wayne, thank you for a insightful interview with Brian Lucas. Thank you to Brian for all of his work. He and Rob Wetzler and Conrad, as we mentioned, our PA announcer, Charles Branch, working all of the home games in the press box, providing a great atmosphere for everyone in Spartan Stadium, as well as Brooke Dennis, our video board operator, and her students here on our wonderful big screen in Spartan Stadium. Great to be with you. We're excited about a second half of ball. Spartans with a 4-point lead as we get ready for the third quarter. Got to give a nod to all of our viewers. We talked about Hutch Cole. We talked about how we had over 5,000 people watching the Mountain Brook Parker game last week. Just phenomenal. Wouldn't be anything without our crew. And then also, Wayne, you and I have a great support system at home. My bride, Anna, watching the Spartans tonight. I know Tara and baby Virginia Brooks are locked in as well.
Yeah, baby Virginia Brooks locked in on sleep right now. Should be a little bit of an hour, over an hour in. We're going to check the nanny cam, see exactly what we got going right now. And the miracle of technology.
And our good friend Connor Herforth watching from home as well, getting the experience of both in the stadium tonight and then second half action at home. Team Herforth taking on Spartan football in all capacities, supporting brother and brother-in-law linebacker coach Buddy Pell.
Yep, absolutely love to see it. Jesus to send it away here as we get this second half of action underway.
Here's Trey Vinson, fielded and met at the 30. Where Mountain Brook will take over, and that's a quick hello to start the third quarter.
Yeah, A.J. Robinson, the senior running back, playing a little bit of defense right there on the kick cover unit with a good tag. Spartan still with favorable field position here, just shy of the 30-yard line.
So, Wayne, we'll talk about some of our stats. We mentioned Charles Branch bringing us stats at home games. We had 150 total yards of offense, 106 of those on the ground, as we probably expected, but Hoffbauer still using his arm. He found Sam Smith for a passing touchdown from 12 yards out, and we'll take a look at those stats throughout this drive as Stuart Andrews is brought down on first.
Yeah, good job right there by the backside contain of the Hueytown defense. Hueytown with 153 passing yards, and that's really the thing that stands out right now and is making this a competitive ball game. Hueytown through the air, extremely successful, but the Spartans rushing attempt steady as always, trying to settle in here in the second half.
A battle of wills here tonight in Spartan Stadium. Here's a keeper and nowhere to go to bring up a third and long for the Spartan offense, trying to find its groove as we get set in this third frame.
Yeah, defensive line with a little bit more juice to start the second half here than the offensive line. It's tough to play with a lot of fire and passion on offensive line, as ironic as it sounds, because you have to be extremely precise and calculated in your movements. So let's see if they can get fired up. Likely a rollout here for third down.
It'll be a 3rd and 11 from the 29. Hoffbauer, quick throw, and intended for Colvin and completed to Trey Vinson. He'll pick up a Milo's first down, and we'll take it however we can get it.
Yeah, I'm not a baseball guy, but that was one of those combination double plays, 10-2-3, whatever you want to call it. Unsure exactly who the original target was, but it have ultimately landed in the outstretched arms of a Spartan receiver.
If Trip Galloway is watching, he can give us the proper baseball ruling on what that one would be. And that one is to Sam Smith, and he is going down the far sideline, brought down inside the Royal Automotive Red Zone, inside the 10. Huge pickup. Started at the 41, ended at the 9. And, Wayne, what kind of math is that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm doing the calculus right now, and I'm not sure that Sam Smith is the fastest or the shiftiest, but he just has a nose for finding space. He's able to get into the right position at the right time. Smooth catch on the ball, allowing him to get upfield and get some of those additional yardages right there.
A 50-yard reception for Sam Smith. and that'll be 3 catches for 70 yards. He had that Browning touchdown in the first half, and the Spartans knocking on the door of the end zone here. 10:22 left to go in the third quarter. First and goal from the 9. It's Andrews who stands behind Hoffbauer. He'll get the give going left side, around the end, makes his way inside the 5, second and goal from the 4.
Well sealed off there on the edge by senior Rob Shanevogel. Player we haven't talked about a ton this year. Second game in here for me in the booth. And, that's a player that kind of got pressed into service late in the year for the playoff run, and I thought did an excellent job and is now locking down the left end of the line for the Spartans.
Wild Stewart on second and goal, and he is met behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss for Mountain Brook to bring up a third and goal.
Yeah, starting to wonder if the Wild Stewart has not necessarily run its course, but is due for a wrinkle or two.
It's
feels
made
like
its
last
way
week
to the film booth of other coaches, that's for sure.
We've got a lot of film out there. They know that Stewart is very good, as Douglas Grant would say, running right and running left. And looks like we're going to go empty here for the third down.
Ball on the 9-yard line. From the 8, it's Hoffbauer looking, going over his shoulder, top of your screen, incomplete. That one.
Yeah, good idea. We've definitely had some pretty wide open touchdowns. I'm thinking of Jack Walthall in years past, being able to spring that on the kind of throwback, but that's a long time for the ball to be in the air. Plenty of time for the defensive back from Hueytown to react, and we're going to set up a field goal here for Anderson Roberts.
Yeah, take what we can get. We've been saying that all night, and Roberts and Sam Smith will tee this one up from the 15 to make it a 25-yard field goal with 9:36 left to go. And
starting to become pretty automatic right there, and that one was through, but we're going to get offsides. A little bit of eagerness, and it'll be interesting to see if the 4-yard line changes things. We can't take the points, because in Alabama high school football, an offsides is a dead ball whistle. So we will have to try it one more time.
So we've got, as you see on the top of your screen there just a moment ago, we've got the Live Development flag in the play and also the New Day Car Wash flag on the play, and this one will bring us closer, and we will have a 20-yard field goal with 9:34. The kick is up. The kick is good. Presented by Nichols Concrete. Anderson Roberts extends the Spartans' lead 24-17 with 9:29 left to go in the third quarter. Wayne, as I've said, we'll take it. Add 3 more for Mountain Brook.
Yeah, getting us back up to the full 7-point lead. I've grown increasingly impressed with both the defensive personnel and the offensive personnel for the Hueytown Golden Gophers. This is a team not in our division necessarily, but seems to be a playoff-bound team just with the discipline and coaching we're seeing out there. These are guys that want to play great football. A lot of them seniors. That's something you really want to look for on a high school football team as a key indicator of success.
So, Wayne, we did get confirmation from my dad, Trip Galloway, that was your traditional 6-4-3, and a lot of baseball insiders communicating with us, letting us know traditional double scoring right there, and that'll remind us that after this kickoff, we'll have Trip's Trivia. And last week we did have in the spirit of baseball, we had a baseball question last week. We're going to keep it in the football realm and celebrate the 1975 state championship team. They're honoring 50 years of their anniversary of Mountain Brook's first football state championship. That question coming up after this Vulcan Tire and Auto kickoff from William Russ, and that one inside the 5. Flag comes flying. But, Wayne, our question this evening is in honor of the 1975 team, as we mentioned, 50th anniversary. Which Spartan on that team went on and took the field in a regular season NFL game? A lot of greats on that field, and which one took the field on a regular season NFL game?
65 Spartans, man.
75.
75 Spartans.
Man.
I thought there were 300 Spartans. You know,
it's a little bit of a trick question.
There's literally dozens of names floating in my head right now on who would have taken the field in an NFL football game.
And one shy of a dozen Spartans come back on the field now to re-kick this one.
A re-kick?
That would be one Bob Shoulders, who was an NFL
There we
ref
go.
in 2012.
Ah.
And your Hueytown connection is in 1975. Mountain Brook beat Hueytown in the 4A semifinals to qualify for that state championship game. But Bob
about
was an
that?
NFL ref, so Tripp, very strategic on his wording right there. Took the field on a regular season NFL game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've spent a lot of games on the sideline. There's a William Russ kick. We back up.
And there we go.
Right to the top of the A, right in between the P and the A. Just like we never left.
Well, that one was so far back it sent me back to the workday. And with your work employment, we will give you the nod on that one. We'll call it a CAC group touchback.
Yeah, the CAC group touchback there. Got the
unofficially
the text
sponsored
from the boss man Grantland that we were cleared to reference that one. And we'll give a shout out to David Turner. Listen, if you've got a business and you need some P&C insurance, go talk to David Turner. He's ready to help you out right there, and let him know I sent you, and we can get you in the right policies for you.
And if your tires blow out on the way, stop at a Vulcan Tire and Automotive because they are the sponsor of our kickoff. Here's a pass across the middle, and the coverage from L.G. Williams, a big pickup for Quintrell Jackson, who's had a great night tonight for the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, Hueytown coming right out of the gate, going back to the air. What worked in the first half and what worked in the second half of the game we played last year, they're going to rely on the timing there.
So here's a first down for Hueytown, making a little bit of noise, crossing midfield into Spartan territory, and Mountain Brook defense quickly trying to adjust and get back ready for the speed of this Golden Gopher offense.
William, one of the reasons you don't air it out the whole time in high school football is because mistakes can happen. Right now, Hueytown mistake-free on their deep shots.
A 2nd and 6 from the Spartan 48 with 8:50 left to go in the third quarter. Incomplete, and Miller Crumpton comes in and provides the footsteps, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yep.
3rd and 6.
There's your first mistake right there with the drop. Now you've got 3rd and 8. And now you're sitting there saying, hey, we threw for 150 yards in the first half, had a nice little 25-yard shot right there. We might like our odds on 3rd and 8, especially after an incomplete pass.
And down to touchdown, probably 4-down territory if you're Hueytown as well. 8:45 left to go in this third quarter. Pass once again intended for Jackson, incomplete in the Spartan secondary. Everywhere they need to be, and the right spot for that 3rd down Iron City stop.
Yeah, took a peek in the crystal ball there, and just something in the gut said, hey, they've been getting not lucky on these, but a little too fortunate. It's about time for a drop or a missed timing or miss throw, and that's exactly what we got. And after the big explosive play, the Spartan defense holds, and they're going to punt the ball here. Jesus out on the field.
So as opposed, this is why I'm in the box, not on the sideline, as opposed to my suggestion of 4-down territory, John Colvin is deep to receive as Jesus is on to punt. And that one's over the head of Jesus. The Spartans pursuing, and they're going to take him down inside the 15, sandwiched and squashed, and the Spartans are in business.
Yeah, down goes Jesus. He actually did a really good job scrambling to capture that ball, but you know, that's the rhythm right there, and in really all levels of football nowadays. Make them keep snapping it. Mistakes are going to happen.
And Boyd Cooper
We've got Boyd
and Will
Cooper
Davis
fired up. You know, Boyd Cooper hadn't gotten to call his name much this season. We've been moving him all around, kind of getting him to do the dirty work, and teams have gotten the tape on him and know to kind of steer clear of his side of the field. So it's awesome to see him make the big play there. We'll call it a Taco Mama turnover and a sack while we're at it.
Take all we can get in terms of the content. Here is a give to Stewart, and Stewart in the Royal Automotive Red Zone from the 16 powers forward for 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, hard-earned yardage for Stewart tonight in that outside zone. We call it outside zone. We're not going all the way to the sideline. We're looking for that crease right there where Henry Jimenez has opened up a seam, and we're able to cut inside it and get positive yardage.
So clock ticking under 8 minutes now. Ball on the 10-yard line is the official spot. Hoffbauer looking right, going to keep this one, trying to use his legs. He's swallowed up before he can get anywhere, and that'll bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, separately, that's the stretch call right there. We are trying to get all the way to the sideline, and penetration by the defensive end does not permit it. So Loss of yardage right there. Not exactly what you're looking for running in the low red area. Interesting to see what our call is here on third down. We've got room to the field. Now that would be rolling against Caden's predominant throwing arm. But, honestly, William, I like him so much out of the pocket right now. I'm not sure you really think about that
dual
as much.
threat ability and the way that we've seen him create passes and create space for himself. 7:17 left to go in this third quarter. 3rd and 8 from the 15. And Hoffbauer's going to roll to his left. Eyes up, and he's looking. He goes to Colvin, and Colvin brings it in. I think we had a flag fly in. There's one sitting on the goal line right there.
Yeah, tell you what, Trey Benson might have rubbed a little too much right there on the route. He had an in-breaking route where he was setting a screen, which typically in basketball is fine.
Yeah.
And really, I think he did a good job of turning his body to the quarterback, but the thud was so much, it just didn't really sit right with the umpire in the back of the field, or the back judge, rather. And the flag comes out. They're going to call pass interference on the Spartans. It'll be 3rd and long. OPI.
So Mountain Brook will realign itself. If you could hear that clearly from home.
Yeah, William, it's not necessarily one of those make them call it penalties. I really think that was one of those judgment calls that, really Trey Vincent did too good of a job selling the in-breaking route and snapping out of it that the defender really was coming full speed to address him.
Yeah, so Wayne, Mountain Brook is resetting itself now. 3rd down, there's set right up just shy of Thorson's shed, as you cited earlier.
Yeah, this would be a long field goal from the Spartans. You're talking 47 yards. We need some yards here to make it manageable.
3rd and 24. The official marking. Hoffbauer fools everybody. He's going to roll left, try and use his legs and get somewhere. He gets inside the 20, and that could set Mountain Brook up for a solid 4th down field goal attempt.
I like it right there. You got to play scoreboard. You got to play clock. Not too dissimilar to the 4th down rush we saw from Ty Simpson in the Florida State game. Not to bring up a sore spot for Bama fans, but
thanks for that.
A decision right there of, do you try and force something deep and maybe get the 1st down, but that's still pretty unlikely, or do you tuck it and run, get the yards you can get? Of course, Ty, it would have been a 1st down right there. It was just getting us back into a cozier field goal range and trusting the foot of Anderson Roberts.
Anderson Roberts lines up on the 26. A 36-yard field goal attempt is up. It is away. It is no
Wide
good.
left.
Just left. Tough angle from up here. Had the leg, had the distance, and just a hair to the left.
Yeah, plenty of distance. That left hash for a right-footed kicker is pretty difficult. A lot of them like to put what I would call draw spin on the ball, right to left, if you're a right-footed kicker and a golfer. And so anytime you're wanting to draw it in, starting off on the right hash is just a little bit easier. You feel like you're hooking it towards the meat of the goal post instead of having to start it too far outside.
Looks like we're going to take a water break timeout. We have paid a lot of our bills. We will pay a couple more of them, and you see Wesley locating us down there on the sideline. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Spartans lead 24-17, 6:14 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Wayne Galloway and Wayne Ingram on the NFHS Network and SpartanTV.live.
This is head football coach Chris Yeager. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for your support of our football team and the athletic department. We couldn't do what we do without you, so thank you for your support, and go Spartans.
We welcome you back into Spartan Stadium. I'm William Galloway alongside Wayne Ingram, our terrific crew tonight. Jonathan Barbie, Jason Anderson, Wesley Stewart, Brooklyn Anderson, and Brady Moscato working the sights and sounds and the 1s and 2s. It's a 1st down for the Golden Gophers with 6:08 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Nowhere to go, and the Spartan defense holding their assignments as appropriate. Wayne and I have pivoted to getting off our feet here. We found some chairs. And thank Athletic Director Andy Urban for giving us the leg in the back support we need up here in the press box.
A well-stocked press box indeed. Corner blitz.
Here's a give, and coming near side, what a run for the Golden Gophers. It's number 0, Anthony Robinson,
Yeah.
A.J. Robinson.
William, if we can spot it on the replay, but if not, 22 LG Williams for the Spartans was on a blitz right there and just kind of ill-timed. Golden Gophers were headed outside, so we lost our contained corner. And you can see once he got even with the defenders at the line of scrimmage, it was up to Mac Mandel to save the day.
And he did. Golden Gophers will pass on first down from the Spartan 44-yard line. Falls incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Boyd Cooper and Skip Stewerman applying heat. I'll tell you what, if your jersey ends with a 9 and you're on the defensive front for the Spartans, you've had a pretty good night tonight. Skip Stewerman, Boyd Cooper, and Will Ellis, 19, 29, and 39, I feel like have been very active, getting a lot of free rushes at runners and quarterbacks.
Our defensive communication has been key and has been very
job,
successful tonight. And there's the pursuit from Boyd. Boyd's nearly able to bring him down. That'll bring up an Iron City 3rd down opportunity for the Spartan defense. But, Wayne, you're exactly right.
Caught but out of bounds right there. And Boyd right there is working the outside and just does a great hump move back to the inside, is able to chase down the speedy quarterback for Hueytown, pursue him to the outside, force a quick dump-off throw. Back is out of bounds, and now we've got 3rd and long, and now the Niners can really pin their ears back.
Forgot to take our pregame picture, Wayne, so working those selfies in.
Never too late for the pregame picture.
Now that we've adjusted. Here's the pressure from the Spartan defense. Oh, my. That was Miller Lee pursuing, and an Iron City 3rd down stop to bring this thrashing Golden Gopher offense to a stop.
Miller Lee might be playing, call it Mike. We might be Rover on the scorecard, but he's really playing some Mike tonight for us. But he is not a small man. He might be truly one of the most physically imposing players on the football team, let alone the defense. And if he's breathing down your neck, I'd probably be chucking the ball that high over my receiver as well.
Great look from Will Ellis down there on our field cam, and a punt goes, out of bounds and takes a Spartan bounce. It'll be right around the 30-yard line where Mountain Brook will take over with 5:06 left to go in this 3rd quarter.
Wide receiver coach Jake Collins doing a good job spotting it there, making sure we get the appropriate yardage, and we're going to be at the 30 coming out.
Wayne, and how about our coaching staff? I mean, we talk about players and we name players. Every single person that comes in, we do our best to honor mom, dad, player, grandma, grandpa, and cite names. But our coaching staff, I would take them over anybody in the state. This group of leaders for our young men are just phenomenal people. They're phenomenal coaches. They're a great unit that works together, and we need to make sure that we give them their flowers because they're putting in, a 60-hour work week to them is laughable because these guys are working around the clock, and they're educators as we honor all our teachers on Teacher Appreciation Night.
Yeah, 100%, William. And in Alabama, we don't play football, we live it. And these coaches are spending hours and hours and hours, not just in season, but in the off season, to get these boys a little bit of an edge, to make them a little bit better. And this community certainly appreciates their effort. A false start right there after the Wild Andrews, the Wild Stew. We're still trying to find the catchiest name for that one.
Yeah.
Please productive on first down.
To our Twitter X accounts.
Yeah, hit the chat. We'll release William's number at some point so we can really get the
it's out there on
messages
YouTube
flowing.
if you do enough digging.
Yeah,
that is the danger.
Williams, no one's ever accused you for not being online. So
chronically.
That's a safe bet.
Medical Properties Trust timeout on the field, and that one is taken at the 4:32 mark in the 3rd quarter. We will take a moment to tell you about our Student Athlete of the Week. If we can get that pulled up, we want to celebrate, as we talked about, teachers, but also student athletes and their accomplishments. And this week's Student Athlete of the Week is Gigi Byers, a cheerleader for the Mountain Brook High School Spartans cheer squad. Gigi is a very bright student. She's got a 4.1 GPA. She scored a 28 on the ACT, and I know we talked about Coach Shane Martin watching at home tonight, and I know he's very proud of Gigi, of his entire squad. You see the Spartans down there on the track bringing the spirit, but also bringing the brains in the classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Always impressive what these young folks are able to do on and off the field.
So Mountain Brook will reset on a 2nd and long here in the middle of this third quarter.
A great penetration by the Hueytown defense, but Stuart Andrews able to hit the circle button in the backfield and still find plus yardage on the play.
Wayne, we've talked all night, especially early, about the offense gelling, and you're an offensive lineman yourself, but how have you seen, you talked about communication, body language moving on and off the field as Hoffbauer hits Sam Smith to the top of your screen, and he'll fight forward for a few more. That was a 3rd and long, so 4th and short situation here.
Yeah, trying to break one there. I think we're going to bring out the punting unit. I've been very impressed with the offensive line, particularly second quarter and really into this third quarter right now. Came out a little bit sluggish, but we have just settled in and really become comfortable with each other. We're communicating better, and really that's all it comes down to. I mean, a lot of times you feel like you can't ask questions on the football field, but if you're a good offensive lineman, you can just look at each other and give a grunt or a nod or a word or two and make sure you're on the same page.
Here's a return for Hueytown, shaking and making a move side to side, and now he's working north and south. What a great job from number 14 for Hueytown, Anton Witt. We've called his name all night long.
Keep an eye on Anton now, just a sophomore, but that kind of juice and ball skills and ability to break and accelerate, that's what some of these next level colleges and programs are looking at spending their NIL money on.
Spartan defense returns, and peering over the ledge are we up here in the box. Thank you, Wesley, for that shot. Good evening, everyone. We're off our feet. We found some chairs, as we mentioned.
Uh-oh.
And here's a run for the Golden Gophers. Knocked out by Lawson McKnight. Delivers the boom. Anthony A.J. Robinson on the carry. Wayne, what would you give that on the boom meter?
Robinson run out of bounds.
That was probably like a decent boom. Momentum was already carrying us out of bounds. I would say it's definitely one firm boom. Not quite double chunk chocolate cookie. People who don't know who the Costco guys are thinking we've lost it, William.
Yeah, that's they're thinking we're off our rocker, and we might just be off our rocker, but Luke Waldrop is on his rocker, and he's on the play to make the tackle for Mountain Brook.
Yeah, as much fun as we're having, we're really trying to lock in right here. We cannot allow a touchdown right here this late in the third quarter, tying up the ball game, and Luke Waldrop made an excellent play there. Kind of overran it, but was able to come back and secure the tackle.
3:08 clock running left. And 3:08 to go in this third quarter. Clock is running. It's a 2nd and 8 from the 21. It's AJ on the carry, and he gets about 7. It'll be just shy, 3rd and short for the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, this pin pull run scheme, kind of a gap slash, maybe you would call it a power run scheme, but really you're not working a double team, has been very effective the last 2 or 3 plays for the Golden Gophers. Bringing in an extra big body here, the defensive tackle, number 91. Williams going to get the name. Jermaine Lewis,
the junior defensive lineman.
He's been disruptive on the inside. Also a big body in number 44. They are going to double it up on the right side. Guess where it's going.
Great opportunity here for the Mountain Brook defense, and it's a keeper. McKnight tries to make the stop, but it'll be enough, we think, for a first down. It'll be close after this 3rd and short.
Yeah, they're going to take a peek at it for sure.
We may get the chains out, Wayne.
You know, they hate getting those chains out here in high school
I'll take it
football.
ice cream after this if we get a measurement. We are getting a chain measurement.
Get some C is for Cookie ready at the Creamery down there in Mountain Brook Village.
Wow. One Jack Royer would be very proud. He in a past life, I worked with Jack and I worked with my dad on radio, and we had an ad spot for measuring the chains, and we never got to use it, not once. So we had to audible and change after the first game.
Yeah, that's smart. I would have refunded the money. Y'all were more dynamic. We're getting our measurement here.
I've got my
and what I'm sure is very
on.
exact in the athletic tape repaired chain. And they're going to be short.
It's going to be shy. Great eye there. We've got now a 4th and inches.
Yep.
From the 12.
And the Spartans get the stop on 3rd down. It's going to be 4th and short.
Yeah, perhaps looking here at, those of us that have watched enough football at home are saying, if you're in shotgun right here, what are we doing? But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, a lot of times in these 4th and short situations or in 4th down situations, offensive coordinators kind of get the itch to take a shot. So defense can't just sell all the way out.
So just a hair to go if you're the Golden Gophers. A 4th and short. This Mountain Brook defensive line who stood strong all night. Will Ellis and Boyd Cooper and Billy Farrow.
We got a flinch.
Somebody
Excellent
jumped.
job.
And Mac Mandel looks to the crowd, says, let's get hype, because the Golden Gophers popped their head out a little bit too early.
Well, tip your cap to Shane Stearns right there.
The Gophers up to 4th and 6.
He said 4th and inches is doable, but I like 4th and 6. Same personnel on the field.
So the offense will remain on the field, and it's going to be a run short on the keeper, and it is right near.
Yeah, we're not going to have to measure this one again.
Keeps it. Tackle made by Miller Lee.
The keen eye of the side judges is going to recognize it, and we are going to get yet another Taco Mama
turnover on downs. The Spartan defense answers the bell, holds strong, and this home crowd roars to life as Mountain Brook offense will return to the field with a touchdown lead and 1:27 left to go in this third quarter.
The Taco Mama turnover on downs, it's kind of like going to Taco Mama and getting like a chicken finger basket. It's not really Taco Mama, but it's still delicious. You still love it. We're going to take that football back the other way now, and Spartans need to put a few first downs together.
I just want to say there's nothing wrong with folks who go to restaurants and order chicken fingers.
That's exactly what we were all thinking, Willie.
I hear they are great people. Stuart Andrews on first down gets maybe a yard, fighting his way towards the 15-yard line down at the 14.
Yeah, that time a boundary run, and when I say field and boundary, that's simply me saying, hey, there's more field to the bottom of your screen because we're on the left hash mark than there is to the top. So we call the top the boundary, the bottom the field.
So we get a 2nd and 9 for Mountain Brook. Under a minute to go in this third quarter. Clock running, pass intended for Rivers Young falls incomplete.
Trying to throw the quick game there and really had our guy just
makes it 3rd down.
About 2 or 3 feet off the mark. And that's the kicker with quick game. You don't have to protect as well, but you've got to be dead accurate.
So the clock will stop at 54 seconds. And
Rivers Young playing for some banged-up wide receivers for the Spartans.
Rivers, the senior, alongside Trey Vincent to the bottom of your screen, just out of frame. Hoffbauer looks. He's going to go far sideline, complete to the man. Sam Smith answers the bell and picks up a much-needed first down for Mountain Brook to move the chains.
That was a Caden Hoffbauer dot right there. He planted his back foot perfectly in rhythm, trusted his receiver, Sam Smith, to break it down and come back to the football on the stop route right there. Spartans move the change in a much needed time.
1st and 10 from the 31, 48 seconds to go in this third quarter. Here's a give to Stewart, and Stewart is going to thrust his way forward, powering. It may not be a gain, but the clock will continue to run.
Yeah, we're asking our guards and our centers to do a whole awful lot tonight with our zone blocking scheme. They're having to go up against some talented defensive tackles in on the interior of the Hueytown defense. That time it was Henry Slaughter a former Mountain Brook Packer of the 6th grade variety, COVID year. And, Rocco Gray having to climb the linebacker solo, and William Tabb really having to do the same assignment tonight.
So what may be the final play from scrimmage in this third quarter on a 2nd and 10 is brought down just shy of the 35-yard line. And we head to the 4th and final quarter. Mountain Brook leading the visiting Hueytown Golden Gophers 24-17. Spartans trying to close this one out in the final 12 minutes. That'll happen when we return. Thanks for watching Mountain Brook football on NFHS Network and SpartanTV.live. Back after this.
Mountain Brook, we're not just your home team. We're your team for the best value guarantee. Save with a 3-year price lock. And get a free phone on any plan. Need even more ways to save? Get free satellite text messaging for all. Save 40% on top streaming services. Plus, save $15 a month when you bundle mobile and home. Score these great deals at Cellular Sales, your local Verizon authorized retailer.
Hey, I'm David Faulkner. As a graduate of Mountain Brook and as a parent of 3 students who graduated from Mountain Brook, I am proud to support Mountain Brook High School athletics. I hope you'll join me in doing the same, and I look forward to seeing you at a game. Go Spartans!
We welcome you back into Spartan Stadium. I'm William Galloway alongside Wayne Ingram, and the 4th quarter of action is set to begin. The Spartans driving screen right to left. It's a 3rd and 7 from the 34 as we start this 4th quarter. Caden Hoffbauer is going to roll to our near side. He's pressured by the Golden Gophers. A flag comes flying, and he's going to use his feet, knocked out right around the 40, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, flag coming out, unable to get the first down there, so if this is the holding call, which it is, Hueytown has the decision now to back him up. He's kind of giving the indication he wants to back him up. Now, I kind of would disagree with that one up here from the booth. I think I would take 4th down at the 38-yard line, but they've elected to accept the penalty and try and get even better field position
and down
and give us one more chance.
Down a touchdown at the beginning of this 4th quarter. You give your defense a chance to make the play for the Golden Gophers.
Sure, and
and a 4th.
I can certainly see it, but you're about to get the ball back there.
Yeah, a 4th and 2 or 3 compared to a 3rd and what is now
3-on-3 at the bottom of the screen right here. See 3 green, 3 white.
3rd and long from the 23 for Mountain Brook. Hoffbauer has a host of receivers. He's going to roll near side and look. He'll find Colvin.
Gamble pays off. They're going to get the bonus yards there. Colvin not quite able to haul it in.
Brings up 4th down.
Like the play call here. We had man-to-man coverage, great chip block. Really just a base block there by Stuart Andrews on the defensive end. And again, just a little bit rushed. Confusion by Hueytown on who should be on the field. That should help us out a little bit.
So the ball spotted once again at the 23. It's a 4th and 17 is the official marking. Anderson Roberts stands at the 10 to punt this one away, and he will send it high towards the video board. Fair caught at the 43-yard line. The Golden Gophers will take over.
Needed a good one there and got it. I'll tell you what, shout out to Luke Carroll, the sophomore gunner. Really broke through the defenders there and made sure that we were going to get a fair catch there and not a potential return. Showing off a little bit of speed. Shout out to Luke.
So the band and the drum line wait for our defense to take the field, and they're going to hype up this crowd at the beginning of this 4th quarter. We've got 11:38 to go, and the Spartan faithful are going to make some noise as the defense returns to the field. You see Tate Davis in the lineup for the defensive line, and Powell stands in the gun from their own 43. He's looking, going far side, short pass complete.
Yep.
Pickup of 3.
Yeah, I think you're kind of getting to the time where the clock is in the back of the mind for the play caller of the Hueytown Golden Gophers, and we might start seeing a high volume of pass attempts right here on this drive.
2nd and 7 from the 46. It's a give, and Luke Waldrop in on the stop for Mountain Brook. It'll be a 3rd and about 1.5 yards to go right around midfield.
Well wrapped, 3rd and short. I got to think they're going to want to take a shot. Number 4 and 5 have been playing on the inside of the field in the slots. They probably feel a little bit more confident that they can pick up the short yardage, rushing the ball on 4th down if they're not able to complete one here. But when you throw for over 200 yards in a game, high school football, you want to keep going to that.
You pose a threat, certainly. So a 3rd and 1 from the 48, and it's a give. On the ground, enough to move the chains, and Hueytown will continue its drive.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was an RPO because number 4 was in the inside slot and was wide open, and he is asking for a repeat on that. He knew the give was to run. Let's see if the Spartans can adjust. We're going to need a linebacker or Mac Mandel to step up if they are indeed repeating that play.
10-13 now. The clock is running from the 45 of the Spartans.
Yep, there it is.
Over the middle, and that is brought down by Miller Lee.
Yeah, had to sit a little bit there. Miller Lee was able to drop.
But Wayne,
but still positive chunk yardage there.
That's when you get to tap me on the shoulder and go, called it, Quintrell Jackson.
Yeah, I wish I didn't. We need a little
Spartan magic. Here's a give again. And how about magic from Will Ellis and Boyd Cooper?
Yeah, Will Ellis, prime candidate to have his name on the Jumbotron as a captain next week. I just been very impressed with the effort of the junior defensive lineman.
Brother of Daniel Ellis, who played left tackle for 2 or 3 years for the Spartans and moved on to the college ranks class of 2025, Mountain Brook High School. Now Will, the junior, making noise for this Mountain Brook defense, and the Spartan defense trying to make some noise as well. It's a 3rd and 3. Pass to the near side, and what a move from number 4 before he's brought down by L.G. Williams. That's Jackson again.
Jackson been a solid possession receiver a lot tonight. That time showing off some yards after the catch.
A lot of noise from the fans to start this drive, hoping we can amp the energy up at Spartan Stadium for our defense as they try to hold strong. It's a 1st down from the 26.
Yeah,
and another pass across the middle, complete to Jackson inside the 5, and Hueytown posing a threat. We've got a Spartan down, though, right inside the 15.
Yeah, we've got
Looks
2
like
Spartans down. That is not what you want to see right there. The Lawson McKnight hopping up.
Miller Lee
shaking it off right now
on the turf, being observed by the medical team. We'll take a quick commercial break, and maybe we won't take a commercial break just out of respect for our Spartan. We'll tell you about what's next in athletics, next week in athletics.
It's looking like Miller Crumpton with a cramp, by the way, but go on with tell us what's going on next week, Willie.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Spartan athletics. Fall season is in full swing. We've got flag football starting up next week after a couple of game cancellations. Miller's walking off the turf under his own power. Got a lot of volleyball next week. Our Spartan football team is on the road, so we're going to head to Pell City and head down 20 East. Glad to see that Miller is walking off under his own power, and he's good to go there. Next week in athletics presented by Brassfield and Gorey. You see a lot of volleyball there Tuesday and then next Saturday as well. Good luck to the cross-country teams tomorrow at Chickasaw Trails. Our JV football team will travel to Hueytown on Monday, and as we mentioned, football at Pell City next Friday night. Thank you to Brassfield and Gorey for their support of Spartan athletics and our Spartan defense, trying to make our fans and viewers at home proud as the Golden Gophers have 1st and goal from the 1 with 8:30 left to go in this contest, down a score. Statement opportunity for Mountain Brook, and it's A.J. Robinson who dives in from 1 yard out, and Hueytown is a PAT away from tying this thing up.
Yeah, that drive right there was all number 4 in the slot. It's Jackson, Quintrell Jackson, the senior wide receiver for the Golden Gophers. And really, Jaden Powell, the quarterback, we've talked about him a lot tonight, kind of reminds me of the quarterback for Oxford last year that was a senior, had a lot of poise, had a lot of comfort with throwing over the middle, throwing into the seams, and that's been their bread and butter tonight. The Hueytown Golden Gophers, they've got just barely positive rushing yards tonight per Charles Branch, son of Chuck, over in the other booth. The long loss on the botch snap on the punt really eating into a lot of that. But, less than 50 rushing yards tonight for Hueytown, but greater than 250 passing yards now.
Yeah, and we've got a tied-up ball game here, and we appreciate Charles for those stats. And, the numbers do tell the tale a lot of the time, Wayne, but ultimately, as it gets down to these last 8.5 minutes in this contest, you got a tie ball game, and it is feeling a lot like what happened last year, right? You're in it, and the battle back, kind of a seesaw, right? Back and forth, and no team is ever quite out of this matchup, but
yeah, right now Spartans getting it done on big plays. I mean, we've only got 6 first downs tonight. Hueytown with 16. So anytime you're seeing something like that, you're seeing measured success from the Hueytown offense, and the Spartans relying on the big plays, and a bad one here.
Yeah, not great if you're Mountain Brook. I think that's Bennett Jordan who dives on it after the Spartans can't control it on the kickoff. And so after a quick scare, the Spartan offense will try and come make some noise and put some more points on the board for us.
Yeah, Lady Mo not really on the Spartan side right now after getting up the deep pass, the short touchdown run, in trouble with fielding that last kickoff. Jake Jordan, the birthday boy, quick out there to help the injured Gopher.
Yeah, as you heard in the pregame show, Jake Jordan, 49 years young. I had a little tongue twist and called him 50, so I do apologize to him. He took it in stride, but do wish a happy birthday to Jake, and great testament from Coach Yeager on the show, and just a great guy to have at Mountain Brook High School.
Those that know Jake, he's always been dominant in the salt and pepper game with the hair. And I had to tell him tonight, the salt's starting to win. And that's a good sign of the experience that he's had really at all levels of the sport, and the quality of care that he's able to bring to our Spartan football athletes.
You see from our field cam there, Charlie Silsby helping with the play calling board, and we got another timeout on the field. Jake is just the man, and he pours into kids. I talked to him. He wanted to be a youth minister, and he realized after a couple of years here at Mountain Brook, he's got his own ministry here. He's got the attention and the opportunity to serve and influence the lives of thousands of students.
Yeah, he's made a great impact on my life and the life of many of my fellow students when we were in school, and it's just always comforting to know that we've got Jake Jordan here in the lives of these students at Mountain Brook High School.
A lot of Mountain Brook guys banged up last week, and they received almost immediate care within 24 hours. Any type of injury, any scale of injury, whether it was just some treatment or even if it was major surgery, Jake and his crew and the partners that we have throughout, being local surgeons here in Birmingham, were able to accompany our guys and get them on their road to recovery as soon as possible. So 8:18 left to go in this contest. Caden Hoffbauer commanding the Spartan offense from the gun, standing just ahead of the 20-yard line. Mountain Brook needing some points after Hueytown just tied this thing up. It's going to be Stewart around right in, and he'll pick up a yard.
1 yard pickup.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little horse collar tackle there. Not that you're ever going to win games with the yellow hanky, but would have been nice to get a quick 15 right here. Spartans taking their time on the play call here. Going to go trips into the boundaries.
Ball on the far hash for Mountain Brook with 7:40 left to go in the contest. 2nd and 9 from the 27. It's Stewart again, right side, powering forward. This will give Mountain Brook a 3rd and long, Wayne, but you do like the option of running the clock if you can command and get enough first down, something that you mentioned we've struggled with tonight.
At this point, we are trying to definitely shrink the game a little bit here, but we've got a 3rd and 9 right now, and it's a tie football game, and the way the offense has moved, at least on that last drive for the Golden Gophers, we are going to need to do our darndest to pick up this first down right here.
As you mentioned, 3rd and 9 from the 32. Hoffbauer trying to use his legs, wraps up, breaks a tackle, breaks another, dives forward. It's not going to be enough. It's right to a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, a long 4th and 3. We'll see the punt team.
The punt team in here. I thought he might have had the deep ball, but not quite enough time with the pressure from the outside. Go with old reliable and trust in the legs. Can't really blame him there.
We saw in college football last week, no specific game, but special team situations
and we're kicking
break up and break
here.
down in the 4th quarter. Here's Henderson Roberts, boots this one inside the 30. He does a great job. Anton will field this
great job,
one.
Mac Mandel.
And wow, all those Spartans gangrene tackle right at the 30, Wayne.
Well, Anderson put one over his head, and many of us were thinking the coverage could have been out-kicked, but Mac Mandel breaking down, getting his arms around the hips. It's so important. You know, if you grab the leg, if you grab the upper body, they can run through that. They can overcome that. But if you grab the hip, that throws off that center of gravity and allows his teammates enough time to come in, make the play, and allow the Spartans to effectively flip the field a little bit there.
Yeah. So now we're looking at a 6:11 mark. This is the water timeout. This will probably be our last TV timeout. We'll take a quick commercial break. 6:11 left to go in the contest. Tie ball game. We'll be right back to Mountain Brook High School after this. Marche Bridge Company, deep foundations. The Spartans trying to dig deep in their defensive foundation and get the ball back. 6:11 left to go in the contest, and Hueytown has it driving with a tie ball game. Spartan defense swarming on a first down run.
They're well bottled up there. Spartans been pretty good bringing multiple looks tonight. Maybe have gotten burned on it a few times when we bring it ill-timed, but we're going to see more of that here on the critical drive of the game.
We've seen a lot of rotation on the defensive line, a lot of guys, and a lot of experience, which we like to see early on in the season. Here's a 2nd and 7 from the 34. Tip pass, and the Spartan secondary is swarming. That'll be a 3rd down opportunity for the defense.
Yep. Boy, oh, Boyd right there. Coming free off the line in the quick game and able to get his hands up there and deflect the Jaden Powell pass.
Wayne, at this point, I feel like I'm going to ditch my chair, and we're going to get back into it here up in the press box.
Not that we were ever out of it, William.
We were never out of it, but back on our feet, ready to go and
engage.
Engage 8. Here's our defense bringing the heat, bringing the storm. 3rd down and long. It's a pass intended and incomplete. Headed into the hands of Kobe Coleman, but L.G. Williams says, not so fast, my friend.
Yep, I'll tell you what, Mac Mandel brought about 1.5 booms right there to the quarterback as he released it. Quarterback still able to get off a really accurate pass. And unfortunately, Kobe Coleman unable to haul that one in. They'll bring out the punting unit, which has been a struggle. They've had issues with accuracy. You'll see we've got John Colvin on about the 45-yard line, hiding in the Spartan head. He is going to drop last second in case there's, for lack of a better word, a shank.
Yeah,
if you're not playing golf tomorrow.
Camouflage here on this 4th down punt. This one, and Robinson Pier, deep to receive, will bounce right around the 35.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen a few out of bounds there. That's good scouting by Gabe Rodriguez and the special teams staff, making sure we understand just exactly what we're up against and having a plan, having a strategy. And I think it's worked out pretty well for the punt return unit tonight.
Absolutely. Big nod to Gabe and Coach Rod, rather.
All right.
And we're friends, but on air we address our coaches with the proper title and proper respect. 5:21 left to go in this tie ball game.
Yep. Isn't that right, Mr. Galloway?
That is Professor Ingram.
Only 10 defenders on the field right now for Hueytown.
It's a quick count. And the ball will go to number 10, Stuart Andrews, who will pick up about 3 on first down.
Mr. Galloway, I'll tell you a little secret. I saw number 14 run off the field last second, and I thought, wow, if I was the coach, I would never pull number 14 off the field. So I decided to count real quick.
There you go.
Now, I think we still have 10, and they just realized it. They were about to rotate a player off. But they're back in the saddle now.
So 2 receivers to your near side. Stuart Andrews stands behind Hoffbauer on a 2nd and 7 from the 38. 4:44 left to go in the contest. Hoffbauer on the keeper. He's going to roll over the left end, try and get forward. A flag comes flying in from the secondary.
Going to be interesting. That's either holding on the offensive line, but honestly, Gabe Vincent's been blocking downfield a couple times tonight, and the DB's just gotten frustrated and started slinging him. So I'm wondering if they're trying to call pass interference, unnecessary roughness, or a block in the back or a hold is now the call that I'm seeing. So it's not going to be against the defense, unfortunately. But I really thought I'd seen it a few times where the DB knows they're kind of out of the play. But obviously me and the side judge and the deep back judge seeing something differently.
Yeah, it's we're pretty high up here in Spartanstein, Wayne. So
yeah, pretty well officiated game tonight. No complaints. Always appreciative of the HSAA for getting us officials out here. They've got a thankless job, a very hard job. So we'll try and give them a little bit of thanks here.
Absolutely.
Before the game gets too tight and we start to say things we don't mean.
With respect.
Respectfully.
4:35 left to go in the contest. 2nd and 14 from the 31 after Mountain Brook gets backed up. Hoffbauer is looking and rolling in trouble. He's going to have to tuck this one for a loss, a big loss inside the 25. Mountain Brook will have 3rd and a country mile.
Yeah, I understand the concept there, but we got to make a little bit better decision if we're Caden Hoffbauer there. Taking a huge loss there, taking us really out of the playbook now for first down options. It's now just kind of let's get some yardage, run some clock, and trust the defense here, unless we're able to get something sprung. This is where your dad or granddad are shouting out, watch the screen.
Big 3rd down here if you're a Golden Gopher fan. 3rd and 23. Hoffbauer airs this one out, intended for Trey Vinson, and the field remains clear of flags.
Yeah, a little bit of an overthrow there. A tough throw. We're talking an out route to the field. Yeah, maybe only a 15-yard throw down the field, but more like a 35-yard throw as the crow flies or as the pigskin flies.
Net yardage.
So you're starting to
Spartan
sit up.
Special teams.
Scooting to the edge of the couch. You've woken from your second half slumber.
Had your
too many men on the field. Going to get a free 5.
3.
So the Gophers
flying.
now have had too few and now too many on the field in the same drive.
Too hot, too cold, and just right. They'll figure this one out on this next play.
A little bit of a Goldilocks, but it really, hadn't affected them here. They did a good job getting the big chunk negative yardage play, and now we've got a kick to the explosive returner and athlete Anton Witt.
Witt will stand on his own 35. Roberts on the Spartan 15. Looking to boot this one away.
Get there.
A lot of hang time from Anderson Roberts.
Really well done.
Great job by the Spartan
Hold
special
on.
teams. Look at
Everybody's got a tackle.
breaking a tackle, another, a third, and a fourth before he is ultimately knocked out of bounds right around the 36-yard line.
Yeah, he's a little bigger, but when Mount Brook made the state championship a few years ago, we had I don't know if it's the honor or the misfortune of playing against a sophomore, Ryan Williams. And I'm not trying to project out Anton right now, but He's showing a lot of those, and maybe not the biggest guy on the field, but very tough to bring down on first contact. Explosive, can start and stop.
And Wayne, if I remember correctly, that was before Ryan Williams was 17 years old.
That's correct. He was not 17 years old as a sophomore in the state championship game. We are going to get a personal foul here, unnecessary roughness on the return team. It'll still be Hueytown's ball, but we're going to get to back him up several yards.
Yeah,
personal
a little bit
foul,
closer
typically
to that
15.
30-yard line.
We would love to.
Officials are about to walk this one off from the 36.
Walk them off the full 15, and field position going to be critical.
3:31 left in this game, absolutely.
If you remember last year, a stop, a drive, and a last-second field goal to put us over the top.
Yeah.
In Southwest Birmingham. Tonight here a little bit more central.
Marched back to the 18-yard line for Hueytown with 3 minutes and 31 seconds left to go in this tie ball game. A non-region contest, but a lot on the line here in a 6A bout.
Oh, man. I'm not sure they were going to throw the flag until he hit the surrender cobra right there. The left guard. We won't say his name. But a little bit eager. So now 20 yards of penalties to start this drive with 3:31 left in the game. A tie ball game. Not exactly what you want from the Hueytown staff, but the plays that haven't been penalized have been extremely effective, so Spartans need to lock in here.
That'll back him up to the 13. It's a 1st and 15. Again, 3:31 left to go in the game. Golden Gophers on a first down and breaking a couple tackles across the middle, ultimately brought down by Mac Mandel, is A.J. Robinson.
Yep, and they've really found something with the pin-pull game inside. They've been able to find space. We're bringing a lot of heat typically off the edges, so they say, all right, well, let's just take it up the middle. And the Spartans might need to tighten the screws on some adjustments there.
Hueytown.
But I would think we're more concerned with the aerial attack.
Yeah, and the clock running now under 3 minutes. It's a 2nd and 3 from the 25. Spartan defense making its proper shifts and adjustments. Powell fakes again, and he's going to roll. Fakes out LG before he's brought out of bounds by Boyd Cooper.
Yep, and that's a good job. After the second pump, you're really probably not going to find a good option, so why not take off on the ground, pick up a fresh set of downs. Unable to stop the clock, still 2:40 and ticking.
So ball marked at the 34 if you're a Golden Gopher. 2:30 now at the snap, and Powell throws across, and that is complete to Jackson, who's been making noise all night. Another first down.
Yeah, working the hashes right now and working that perimeter ball is going to be their friend. I got to imagine that's exactly what they want to do here on out.
Almost the flip position of where we were last year when we had the ball around this time, and Hueytown now driving in their own territory, but inside the realm of Spartan Stadium. 2:09 at the snap. Pressured, in trouble, throwing, far sideline, incomplete. And that'll be out of bounds at 2:02.
Not going to risk the underthrow there. Savvy decision. Stops the clock with 2:02. 2nd down and long. Now, incomplete pass here could bring up 3rd down. Give us the chance to heat up that quarterback. We've been unable to get a true sack tonight.
So 2:02 left in the game, 24-24. Ball on the 46-yard line for the Golden Gophers. It's a give on 2nd and 10, and the Spartan defense swarms for a stop to bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and I think if you're Hueytown, you want to chew a little bit of this clock up. Not give the Spartans too much time if you're not able to convert here, because likely if you don't convert, it's an incomplete pass. Clock is going to stop. Spartans have 2 timeouts.
Ball marked at the 48. It's a 3rd and 7. 135, 134, 133. Powell looking to the sideline. 13 seconds on the play clock. They're going to try and use as many of them as they can. Snap taken at 122. Powell looking over the middle, intended for Jackson, but Luke Waldrop. Luke Waldrop, where he needs to be, makes the stop, but he's going to be penalized for this one.
Yeah, ironically, that's going to get us because Luke was at the ball. The receiver was not. And barring a conversation there. I think we might actually see a targeting play. There was just some incidental helmet-to-helmet contact. Looked a little more violent than it was. Everybody's up and healthy.
So that'll move the chains for Hueytown. 1:17 left to go in the contest.
So now Hueytown's going to be knocking on the yard line that they'll need for a Jesus field goal.
Ball is to the 37. It's a 1st and 10 with 1:17 left to play. Powell stands in the gun for the Golden Gophers, driving in Spartan territory. He's going to give, and wrapped up and taken down by the Spartan defensive front, A.J. Robinson on the carry.
Well bottled up, and Hueytown not in the biggest hurry right here. I think they are playing for maybe a shot or two in the end zone, but ultimately wanting to keep this game in their hands.
So the clock running at 54, 53, 52. Play clock at 20, and they're going to try and run this one as far down as they can. 46, 45.
Yeah, I'm looking at number 4 in the slot again.
Yep.
Luke Waldrop and Matt going to have responsibilities.
Side. You got a 2nd and 8 from the 39. Here's Powell, takes the snap.
Oh, I'll tell you
Sacked! Boyd Cooper, come on!
And that was a touchdown-saving sack. Our good friend this half, Quintrell Jackson, was streaking down the middle. Matt Mandel would have had a play at it, but I'll tell you what, Boyd Cooper brought our blood pressure down just a tick.
I mean, that's a front runner for play of the game if things can go the right way for us. You saw that Tractor and Equipment Company replay. We've got 31 seconds left in the contest, a 3rd and 13 after this timeout. But Wayne, great job by Boyd, and not just Boyd, but the entire D-line to get the pressure, allowing Boyd to get where he was and make the stop.
Yeah, we've been working towards it all night. A lot of times we've just seen Jaden Powell able to escape the pocket before we were able to ultimately bring him down or force an incompletion. That time, too much pressure from too many ways. Boyd Cooper able to get the wrap and bring up 3rd and long, and we need it here from the Spartan defense. Student section continuing to be on their feet. A lot of the Spartan parent faithful, some junior high kids down there fired up as well. A lot of men on the line of scrimmage here.
3rd and 13, 31 seconds to go. Ball on the 40. Boom. Powell brought down. Skip, Stewerman, come on.
That's one of those Stewerman tackles.
LG Williams
and
down
LG
for the Spartans.
Has a cramp.
24 seconds remaining.
Certainly a cramp. Boyd Cooper going to go ahead and help him work it out right here. The injury timeout on 4th down. I believe we're going to be charged with one since it's under 2 minutes.
Ball is
but
marked.
Hueytown actually called theirs.
Ball is marked
the
at
referee
the
corrects that, I believe.
46-yard line. The line to gain is the 27.
I mean, Hueytown's coach may know something I don't know, but accepting the holding that made it 3rd and long instead of 4th and medium in our territory was a questionable call. Calling a timeout with 24 seconds left on now 4th and 20 from right around midfield to force yourself to punt to the Spartans and let them save their 2 timeouts is pretty interesting.
Yeah, we're going to try and be as innovative as we can and resourceful as we can.
Yeah, for those
time management
wondering what that means, William Galloway has no less than 6 cameras in this booth right now, gearing up for a big social media Monday. And good to see LG get up right there through the cramped middle of the field, celebrating a little bit after the big sack. You can see them stretch him out right away. It is a hot night here in Spartan Stadium, and I cannot blame them.
I want to give a shout out to Dr. Glenn Lamar, our most valuable teacher, who was recognized pregame and an AP US History and AP Euro beloved history teacher at the high school who's spoken highly of. You can see his speech to the team yesterday on the YouTube page. We now have 24 seconds left in the contest of 4th and 20. Ball on the 46.
And we've already seen one bad snap tonight, so by me saying it, we're not going to see another.
No, but we appreciate the thought and consideration. Jesus on the punt. delivers this one from about the 43 over the head of Colvin. It's going to take a high bounce right around the 11, where it's going to be down with 14 seconds left to go. The Spartans have 2 timeouts.
Yeah, listen, we're backed up to the 11, but, I mean, how do you not let the punt just roll around for an extra 5-10 seconds there? I mean, I'll tell you how. I mean, we're talking about high school football players. Like, they are in some of the most intense situations they've ever been in their lives right now, so I totally understand where they're coming from. But plenty for the Monday morning quarterback to pick apart. Or I guess the Saturday morning quarterback when you're talking about Friday.
Yeah, who needs college game day when you can watch reruns on NFHS? Wayne, we got 13 seconds left to go. 1st and 10 from the 11. Mountain Brook has 2 timeouts. Hueytown has 0.
Yeah, interesting to see if we're going to take a shot here. 13 seconds, just not much time.
Possibly 2 plays. It's going to be a give to Stewart. He's going to be swallowed up, and I think we're going to be playing for the extra period.
Yep, absolutely have to with field position. But tell you what, after that penalty over the middle of the field, we're going to call a timeout. Yeah, we're going to overtime. There we go. After that penalty over the middle of the field, and they were knocking on field goal range, I mean, you were just sitting there saying, man, what are we going to do? And what we were going to do is Boyd Cooper was going to make that sack on 3rd down, or really on 2nd down, and then Skip Stewerman
is going to come in and answer the bell. That's for sure.
Yeah, we got to get the student section queued up. A little tougher with defensive players to get it going, but that'd be a good Stewerman.
He's answering the bell tonight. One of those juniors in the linebacker room that is just packed to the brim with juniors, and something they're going to get experience. Coach Yeager talks about when you're a sophomore, you got to play like a junior. When you're a junior, you got to play like a senior. When you're a senior, you got to play like a 4th, 5th year veteran. And so everybody trying to play up a level, and this type of game, this type of experience now going into overtime is going to get you that.
Yep, so I guess if it's overtime now, we got to play like it's first quarter of next week. Same amount of energy and hustle.
Wayne, we got our, this is unsponsored but also related, we're going to have our first Odie's Overtime of our broadcast.
Odie's Overtime. Some game-in stats now that we're there. Total yardage, 253 to Mountain Brook, 248 to Hueytown, just about dead even. Spartans have done it pretty balanced, 126, 127 passing versus rushing, whereas Hueytown has 6 yards rushing, 242 yards passing. There you go. 20 first downs for the Gophers, only 6 for Mountain Brook. Caden Hoffbauer, 9 for 16. And our good friend Jaden Powell, 20 for 33 through the air.
What a dynamic high school game. We saw a good bit of offense last week, but nothing like this. That was a track meet up and down. And so just overall, we're having a quality game tonight, but
yeah, it's one of those where you're really not seeing anything crazy or trickeration. You're just seeing 2 really talented, really hard-working, competitive, well-coached high school American tackle football teams.
Yeah, Wayne, are we all set on our Odie's Overtime rules? Are we familiar with this show? Because this is a new thing to a lot of our viewers.
Those watching along at home, you basically have an abbreviated version of college overtime. So we're going to start at the 10-yard line, I believe, each time. And you're going to get 1 set of downs to either score a touchdown or kick a field goal. I need to double-check the rules. I think after the second one, you have to start going for 2.
I left my AHSA
Maybe the
handbook
third one you
at
have to
home,
go for
but
2. We need Bob Shoulders, the member of the 1975 state championship team that fielded the field in the NFL,
who
as a replacement ref,
beat Hueytown in the semifinal game.
Yeah,
1975.
might have to do a quick call to Bob when we get a few minutes. I will report that the press box is out of refreshments, so we're going to have to go with a dry palate here in overtime. Many of the players are cramping up. We're feeling it up here too.
Mouth is salivating. No pizza, no Coke, but we've had our fair share. We will say. Nod to Michelle O'Connor and Andy Urban for keeping us fed.
Absolutely. It is a factor of the heat right now that we have outpaced our typical refreshment load up here.
So Keegan Horn and Lawson McKnight will keep their teams represented at midfield for the overtime as we get things set to start. We'll chat about
get some more
where we want to be.
Stats here from our good friend Charles Branch, again in the booth over. Hello.
There we are. Good evening.
Stuart Andrews, 21 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Hoffbauer, 12 carries, 45 yards, the touchdown, 9 for 16, 126 yards and a touchdown. Miller Lee's got 11 tackles. Boyd Cooper has 9 tackles, a PBU, and a sack. Lawson McKnight has 12 tackles. We've got Skip Stewerman with 9 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery. And then, of course, Sam Smith, the trusty receiver, with 5 of our 9 receptions for 89 yards and the touchdown. Spartans.
Great numbers, and thank you to Charles Branch
getting
for
the
that.
advantage of going on defense first.
Yeah.
You want to know how many points the offense scored so you can appropriately react. If you can get a stop, some people just prefer to go ahead and kick it.
Wayne, this is, I believe, the first overtime game we've had together. We're in our second season bringing you Mountain Brook football on NFHS Network and Spartan TV. This is our first Odie's overtime, and we apologize to our local TV affiliates for running late for their nighttime programming, but we've got some Spartan football.
Yeah, if you're looking for 60 minutes, keep looking. We've got a balance formation. I'm going to be looking for the pin-pull gap scheme up the middle. That's been successful for Hueytown. Maybe some quick game mixed in.
No clock. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 10. Pressure
Bang.
brought down. Hello, good night, and goodbye, Billy Farrow.
Now, Billy has been hustling to the ball tonight. Been asked to do a lot.
One of our captains this evening, and he's playing like it.
And that is huge to get a tackle for loss right there.
So that'll back him up to the 14. It's 2nd and goal from the 14. Again, a timeless overtime. So we're just focused on the play clock, which currently is ticking down from 12. From the 14, it's Powell. And he looks near side, intended for number 2, Kobe Coleman, incomplete, and LG is a lockdown corner on that one.
Yeah, we've got a Spartan defender down. We're bringing a lot of bodies to the line of scrimmage right now. So there's a big potential for some crunchage. Hopefully, Jake Jordan and the training staff are able to work it out. Seems like another one of those cramps. Anytime you see an immediate stretch out, you kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Not to say a kramp's not painful.
But to know
many
that
of us
it's
have
not
woken up at wee hours of the morning with a calf or a hamstring.
Oh, we've all been there.
Balled up in a knot. You never feel more powerless. But ultimately, it's our fault for not keeping a trainer on staff to stretch us out at 3 a.m.
You're killing me, Wayne. You're killing me.
I mean, listen, and Jake Jordan, I like to think he would answer the call. Probably not going to answer my call at 3 a.m.
Probably not.
Or be able to make it over in time
before
the water and the liquid IV.
Before you get your Cheerios in. Hey, we appreciate all of our Mountain Brook community partners, right? Mountain Brook Schools partners with the city. They partner with All In Mountain Brook, the Mountain Brook City Schools Foundation, and All In Mountain Brook puts on terrific programming to contribute to the overall health and wellness and well-being of all of our students. You can donate to All In Mountain Brook today by using that QR code on your screen.
William, I want to revisit something real quick before
we got a quick.
Do you think Cheerios stop cramping?
Miller Crumpton is our Spartan, who I believe that might have been his 2nd cramp of the evening.
That's exactly what we thought. Cheerios, really?
Whatever works.
Noted athlete, William Galloway.
To each his own. All right, a 3rd and 14 in overtime. First overtime, and Hueytown. Quarterback Powell on the keeper, knocked out of bounds by Billy Farrow. It's going to be a 4th and goal from the 9.
Well, I'll tell you what, really well disguised coverage right there. The quarterback looked to who he thought would be an uncovered receiver, and we had a linebacker dropping right in the slot, forcing the scramble and forcing the 4th down, and bringing our good, close personal friend, Jesus Sosa, out on the field. The senior kicker.
Jesus will set up shop at the 15-yard line for a 25-yard field goal. tied up at 24. This 25-yarder from Jesus is up and through the uprights, and Hueytown has itself a 27-24 lead in overtime. And if you're Mountain Brook, you acknowledge that, you walk off the field, and you know what you have to work with. So that is about as good as it can get if you're Mountain Brook.
You know, if you've got an average to above average field goal kicker, and Jesus is certainly one of those, then you feel really good about getting at least 3 on the first overtime period. Spartans now know what they got to do. 6 points for our second victory of the season. 3 points to have us go down to the other side and try it one more time.
Overtime rules, as we just saw, we're spotted at the 10. It's a hard 4. And Mountain Brook will line up with Caden Hoffbauer in the gun. Sam Smith to the near side. Hoffbauer will flare out to the top of your screen. It's going to be a wild Stewart here in overtime on first down from the 10. Stewart takes it. He's rolling left. Gets a block, makes a move, fights his way forward down to the 6, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, I like the fight. Kind of just trying to take the game into our hands and impose our will here. 4 yards on first down is exactly what we need. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4 is 12, and we only need 10, Willie G.
Absolutely. Great blocking from the left side of our line, and Hoffbauer back in the gun from the 6. Andrews stands behind him. 2 receivers towards the top of your screen, and Andrew motions to his right. Hoffbauer takes a snap, and he's going to keep this one and use his legs. Gets a block, rolls around, can't get the edge, and Mountain Brook will lose a pair there. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, went for the stretch as far as we could. That's what we scored the long touchdown on for our first score of the game, but unfortunately right there going to lose a yard or 2. And that is cutting into our philosophy of 4 yards per play. So question mark here for Brad Easley and Coach Yeager.
Ball marked at the 8. It's a 3rd and goal from the 8. Questions are meant to be answered, Wayne. And the Spartans have an opportunity here on 3rd and goal in this overtime contest. Hoffbauer rolling to his left, fakes a give, throws to the end zone. Got it! Caught! Touchdown Spartans! Mountain Brook wins it in overtime. Complete. Mountain Brook takes down Hueytown in an overtime thriller.
And it is a Sam Smith send-off here for the Spartans.
Who do you go to when you need a big play? Call 1-800-SAM-SMITH. The senior wide receiver for the Spartans answers the bell. A dime from Caden Hoffbauer, and Mountain Brook is rolling in 2-1 and a big overtime victory over the Golden Gophers tonight.
Yeah, William, the big wins are fun. They're stress-free. But the tight wins where you have to grind it out, that's where you really figure out what kind of a football team you are. And I'm just proud of this team for stepping up. Injuries all across the board. And refusing to dip below 500 on the season were the Mountain Brook Spartans tonight. And I'll tell you what, hats off to this Golden Gophers team. If you're in any high school pools, you really shouldn't be gambling on high school sports, so stop that. But you might want to take a look at the Gophers.
What an evening in Spartan Stadium, a back-and-forth battle all night long, ultimately answered an 8-yard touchdown pass from Caden Hoffbauer to Sam Smith, and Mountain Brook wins it in overtime. Coach Ethan Truitt charges the booth. He's fired up. All of the green and gold is fired up this evening, and what a way to go out.
Yeah, we are depositing the remaining confetti cans into the stands right now.
Check your pockets. We still have a pair of Honda car keys.
And folks, if you're following along at home, we still have not located the owner of the Honda car keys. I know that was a huge breath-holding moment for all of you at home.
Anna, I might be coming home with some extra wheels.
Whereas we have secured victory in this game, it's going to be a real shame if we can't figure out who's driving the Accord home.
Well, I'll tell you who's driving home happy, and that is Spartan Nation tonight. They're circled up to hear from Coach Yeager. You see that Browning touchdown and a great look at that overtime shot. Coach Kyle Spear is getting in there, and Jason, great job to my right on that replay. Wow. Shout out to our crew of Jonathan and Brooklyn and Brady and Wesley, Jason, everybody bringing you that final moment tonight, and what a special finish for the Spartans.
Yeah, and a much more spirited, uplifted Coach Yeager. Listen, is he going to be proud of everything that was out there on the field tonight? No, but I thought I saw a largely improved football team in many facets of the game. We've got some pass defense areas to true up and shore up over the next few weeks. Surely getting Hayes Wendell back in the lineup eventually is going to help that, but
Wayne,
that is a huge team win.
We're going to try and walk you through this replay one more time as we get into our Dr. John Young Sports Medicine and Orthopedics post-game show, but we'll see if we can get a look.
Yep. And the best thing about watching this replay is no matter what, it's a catch.
Yeah.
There's no way to change it at this point. I saw a little bit of what y'all are seeing, though. We got trips to the field. Caden rolls out. His first read's not quite there, and he just pumps it and says, you know what, I got to give Sam Smith a shot. He goes up and gets it, is able to roll his body around to the goal line, and immediate call from the side judge. Now, that's not something that he's just going to do just for kicks and giggles. When he sees it, he's going to call it right away, and the emphasis there on the call gives me confidence that was a clean catch by Sam.
Wayne, it's hard to take away immediately some type of initial reaction and analysis when you're riding the emotional high of a win like this and a back-and-forth contest, but you see the green and gold all over the field. Spartans celebrating everywhere in this 30-27 win, but Coach is going to have a lot of good, bad, and ugly to review on the film, but you got to just enjoy this one while you're at home. We won't be back home for another month, but just a special moment. And this is one of those, regardless of however the game shook out, you're going to know that this was a special moment to be a part of, and I love that they're all just taking it in with their friends here after the overtime victory.
Back-to-back three-point wins over Hueytown, and it is just awesome to see the Spartans have broken their circle, and they're out there interacting with their buddies, wearing Sperry's in the stands, now made their way onto the field to give these guys some love. Awesome to see the cheerleaders, the Dorians, the dance team all getting their shine.
And Charles Branch is fired up as well, bringing us our post-game stats. We appreciate Charles as you hear the fine tunes of the alma mater. Wayne, tell us about the numbers tonight.
And tell you what, if you think the commentary here is average or up to par, you ought to know the people that are sitting in the press box next to us. They are some football minds. They are talking shop. They are critiques and critics, and they know what they're talking about. The press box player of the game tonight, we got a defensive and offensive one. Boyd Cooper, the senior, I mentioned that he's been asked to do a lot of different things, hadn't really gotten the glory or the shine as much as last year, but has been just as impactful a player. But tonight, he shows up in the stat book, 9 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and a critical sack right there to extend the game, get it back in to overtime. And then who else on the offense but Sam Smith, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Clutch, 6 receptions, 97 yards, 1 touchdown in regulation, and the other one
to walk it off.
The kill shot. Walk-off touchdown. I believe it was about an 8-yard reception. And I'll tell you what, hadn't said it enough. Great ball right there by Caden Hoffbauer, the senior quarterback that, so often we're putting a lot on Caden. You try running full speed and doing anything else, let alone accurately throwing a football. And he had to pump that one and ultimately just trust his guy, Sam Smith, to deliver.
What a play, what a moment, and what a night to celebrate for the Mountain Brook Spartans. Mountain Brook walks this one off victorious in overtime. Hoffbauer finds Smith. A nod to the defense. We just heard all the numbers and all the stats. A team win tonight. It is not just one play. It is not just one moment in overtime. A series of events, 48-plus minutes of hard-nosed, hard-powered, powering through football for the Mountain Brook Spartans, bring us out victorious, and oh, how sweet it is. Mountain Brook celebrating on the field, players, students, and parents alike. Wayne, we won't be back in the comforts of home until October 3rd when we welcome the Clay Chalkville Cougars. We've got a road stretch of Pell City and Oxford and Homewood. We hope everyone will join us at those games. If not, we hope you will join us here on the broadcast on NFHS Network and Spartan TV. Some quick closing thoughts before we wrap it up and send everybody home this evening.
Well, this definitely puts a different taste in our mouth before this big road trip. We're about to leave Sparta and hit the road to go fight the Persians for a few weeks, okay? So you don't want to leave with a loss, and you don't want to leave without momentum, and we were able to recapture that after a tough loss to Parker last week, where we lost not just on the field, but we also lost some key players at key positions and a couple more throughout the week. So really thinking about those guys, praying for those guys. Want to see them back out on the field, but a gutsy performance by some young guys stepping up and some old guys having to play new or maybe some older familiar positions in order for us to gut out a win. And clearly it took everything. This was a big team effort, a big team win. And it just shows that these guys are playing for more than themselves. They're playing for each other, they're playing for this community, and they're playing for you watching at home. And if we continue to do that throughout the season, we're going to be proud of these Spartans boys for what they're able to accomplish this
all
year.
season long. And it's a privilege to be with you. Thank you for making us a part of your Friday night, Wayne. As always, it is a pleasure to be up here spending time with you. Thank you to our wonderful families supporting us. For you, Taryn, Virginia Brooks, for me, Anna, and all of their love and support. We appreciate them. We appreciate our school administration, Principal Carrie Busby, Assistant Principals Eric Hollis and Lars Porter, Superintendent Dr. Dickie Barlow, Athletic Director Andy Urban, and his assistant Michelle O'Connor for making all of the home game operations and logistics possible. Thank you to the band, Dorians, color guard, and cheerleaders. Thank you to you, the fans, for watching and allowing us to bring you a product. And last but not least, thank you to our crew, Jonathan Barbie, Jason Anderson, Wesley Stewart, Brooklyn Anderson, and Brady Moscato for bringing us the ones and twos and the sights and sounds. For Wayne Ingram, I'm William Galloway, signing off victorious tonight for Spartan Stadium. For the only time in September, Mountain Brook wins it here at home. We'll see you back home in October. We'll see you next week on the road at Pell City. But tonight, we say adieu, and Mountain Brook wins this one in overtime over the Hueytown Golden Gophers 30-27.